Let's get multiple people in the space in the same room and talk.
Careful on your thighs.
The event is over.
Hey, I'm about to do the workout again.
I need you to text me back.
Crazy game of phone tag we got going on here. Anyways,
Hey, I don't know
call
if
me
you
back.
got my last 10 messages, but
I did that workout again.
Live, but not live. Do we
We're
get all
live
that
whenever
in
we
there?
want to be.
Yeah.
Rolling start.
We're rolling. We'll be live whenever we want.
Elephant in the room. Nice socks, Darren.
these are old school, man.
These are old
These
school.
are
The Tigers
Stans.
ones.
I
Yeah.
don't even know if people
Nice.
still wear Stans socks anymore.
There was a time, well, you like, at least for the kids, I can tell you, like a 15-year-old,
For the
tell you
kids.
can't pull them up straight like that. You're supposed to have like a very
Yeah, no, I
strategic.
know, I
bunch in
know,
it.
I know. Just
Yeah.
a little fluff, you know,
Yeah.
like a little
bunch.
ruffle,
But
in
yeah,
the
there
feathers.
was a time if you didn't have colorful socks, you were a total
CrossFit,
outcast
I know.
in
I don't know if
CrossFit.
the like
Remember too, like the ladies would always have the
Yeah.
socks
Oh,
that went
yeah.
all. I
black
didn't-
and gum with the colored socks. I don't know, Darren.
I know. I honestly just threw them on because I really didn't know like what to wear.
What is
Tigers
whole outfit
won
kinda
last night.
matches?
Tigers won,
last
and
night.
I even
All my kids
Yeah,
wore
look at
Tigers
your-
jerseys
Yeah.
too. Javi had a walk-off last night.
so cool.
I know
You're
it means nothing to anybody else here, but
Yeah, it's
maybe.
the slappy sticky one with the pitching thing. Yeah,
Uh,
you're so specific with your sock rules.
what do you mean?
Well, like
I don't really have sock rules.
you
I'm
kind of
just
do.
saying like the color.
Yeah.
Oh.
Am I even
You're
wearing
pretty
them the
specific
right
about how you
direction?
match your socks.
I'm wearing them the
Yes.
right direction.
Easy
Right?
says the
The stance logo goes in.
goes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't you have like some basic parameters though, where you're like,
I don't like to wear white socks with black shoes. That's the
Oh.
only thing.
I used to love wearing like just
Doesn't
white
look
socks.
Right. Just doesn't look right to me.
mm-hmm.
I wear low socks almost all the time.
Well, it was funny in high school because my mom, she would always buy us just the long socks. Hated them. And I was always embarrassed because it was low cut, no shows.
Yeah.
You always had the low cut, no shows everybody had, and I was always the guy, so I'd roll them all the way under. So I
Under.
basically
Oh, nice.
had double socks. Double socks. I'd roll them all the way under, so I'd have the low cut. And somebody called me out on it because they go, "Hey, how come your socks are inside out?"
You go, well.
So I always noticed.
No.
I always noticed with my dad because he wears those socks. He had no leg hair from here.
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
And now I'm starting to get
Yeah.
no leg hair from here down.
Yeah.
I'm
Just
getting
from
old.
the-
You know, I'm losing my leg hair.
Yeah. Burning it off with
Yeah.
the sock.
You know.
I used to have the no leg hair here from doing the from
Oh
doing
yeah.
clean.
Oh,
Me too.
yeah,
Now I just
Same.
get.
Same, but now it's all back because I'm kind of off that.
You
retired?
Yeah, I'm just more of a straight line pull. Don't even touch the old legs.
You're
Floating
keeping like
clean.
low intensity.
Low, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Interval
extremely
training.
low.
Interval
Interval
training.
training.
Yeah.
Something like that.
These socks that we have, I don't know if you guys can see them on the camera, are the best socks ever.
They are.
They
nice.
are.
I can't
They
get
are.
rid of them. I can't quit them.
Yep.
Even when they get holes in the toes, I can't quit them. Hillary gets so mad at me because I'll wear them until they.
So basically,
And
there's no
every
sock.
it never fails. It's every time we go to the airport, and I'll take my shoes off and I'll just have a toe pointing out, like, and then I don't think about it until
Until the next time
and
you're at the airport.
until you think about it.
And
Like
you're
it doesn't
standing there-
bother you
You're
until
standing there,
Oh,
like with your
yeah.
hands
And
up,
then
and
you
you're like,
feel it.
oh.
no, but I'm just saying, like you don't.
Can't stop.
Yeah,
feeling
like
it
I
after
used to
that.
have weird sensory things when I was a kid. You know the seam that goes over the top of your toe? I used to have to tuck it under my pinky toe.
I think it used to be a lot worse.
Really?
Oh,
It used to be a lot more prominent in like the
Yeah,
good
But you
ones,
were
yeah.
also like that was like 6 years ago for you.
True,
This was
true.
20 years ago for me.
Sock
Well, but
technology's
like
come a
I
long
feel
way.
like just socks have gotten better.
Socks
I
have
guess
come a
'cause
long
there's
way.
mine are inside out right now, but
Good God.
I'm just lazy. I just leave.
Everybody want to talk about ChatGPT, but the direction that socks have gone in the last 20 years.
like
my
because
goodness.
there's no
Phenomenal.
big seam. I know
Innovation
you're
in
talking about-
socks.
There used to be just like a big ball right
Yeah,
here of
yeah.
like leftover. They just in the sweatshop they wouldn't cut that
Well,
off. They
and
just
then also
leave it.
like when you wear mismatched socks,
Mm-hmm.
and it's for me it's as long as it's this sock because we have the white version of this sock. Everything's inverted basically. I'm fine. It doesn't bother
good.
me. But people be like, oh, like some lady called me out at the airport the other day. She goes, was that on purpose or is that was that on accident? I was, as long as the sock feels the same,
the
I don't
same.
really care.
She goes, I want to talk about that toe sticking out.
Yeah,
too."
no, the toe. There was no
Yeah,
toes
she-
in that one.
She goes, hey, wait a minute.
So yeah, it was me and Ben. And hey, Ben bailed on me at the TSA line. I'm lazy and won't go do my TSA pre-check. And guess what?
Ben
I
got his
waited.
TSA.
I waited for Ben for 5 minutes.
Oh, it's so good.
after
The
we
Nashville
through the
airport
TS
has like
TSA
sped
line.
up though.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
it's
awesome.
Like, I mean, all of them have gotten so much better, I feel like.
I will stand by this though. I would rather be slower through the line, but still not have to take my shit out of my bag or my shoes off,
But now
and stay
you
in
don't-
TSA.
But now you don't have to take anything out of your bag.
At the
With
good
new,
airport.
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, yeah,
the
I was
new
saying, I'm like,
airports,
with the,
that's the
I'm like,
pain
when
in
You
the
have to take
lines
your
are
shoes
open-
off, but
yeah.
they, for me, they're slip on, slip
Yeah,
off.
that's
It's not
fine.
that big of a deal.
Yeah, I
But
usually
you don't
wear
have to do
these.
laptop out. Don't have
No,
to
you
do all
don't do
that.
anything.
So
You just
nice.
put all your stuff through the bag. bag or through the thing.
This is a game changer.
I don't ever take my gun out either. I just leave it in there.
Yeah,
Just-
that's
and
nice.
And my
Just
pipe
swing for the
bomb.
fences.
My pipe bomb.
Angelo's like, what about this?
You're now on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Clip in or out?
Yeah. Should I clear it?
Do you follow TSA on Instagram? No. They're hilarious.
Really?
It's all
Stuff,
it's
like,
all
you were
puns.
sending- yeah, you
random
sent stuff. Yeah.
But they do it as dad jokes, so they'll make it all into a pun, but they show what people tried to bring through, and it's mind blowing.
Oh, that's good.
It's insane.
You seen? I think we've talked about this. I know Scott and I have Border Patrol's Instagram.
Yeah, it's getting
Yeah,
hot.
I'd
it's
say
incredible.
it's getting hot.
It is incredible. It's got to be the best. That guy's can't. Whoever's doing it isn't getting paid enough. I just know it. There's no way.
Well, yeah. Doge saved a lot on like a lot of government jobs,
Yeah,
and then put
it's
it all
gonna
into
put it
like
all
the
into Border
videography of Border Patrol.
Yeah.
You got
I'm
Robert
like,
Zemeckis.
what are they promoting though? Maybe people are like, hey, I want to go work there. Like this seems like a cool place.
Yeah.
Seems hip. The kids would like
yeah,
it.
yeah, it
the
seems
kids
hip.
would like
Yeah.
The kids like it.
When it comes to your health, some of the most important factors are the ones that you can't see in the mirror. Bloke specializes in men's health, helping you identify and fix the things that might be holding you back from optimizing your health. So regular blood testing is critical for staying proactive. Luckily for you, our friends at Blokes are here to make things easier than ever. Blokes doesn't give results with no solutions. They offer personalized solutions that fit your life, and they make the whole process simple and accessible. I get my blood labs taken at CrossFit Mayhem or in the comfort of my own home. If you're serious about taking control of your total health, not just your workouts, head over to blokes.co and take the first step. Use the code FRONINGPOD, all one word, to enjoy 50% off of all your labs. Mountain Ops has combined my two biggest passions, fitness and the outdoors, as well as sourcing quality ingredients. Mountain Ops Supplements has helped me get the most out of my training sessions in and out of the gym. If you want to start taking your results seriously, I've put together a bundle of Mountain Ops products. New and returning customers save 20% on their purchase when you visit mountainops.com and use the code FRONING. That's MTNOPS.com, code FRONING. When it comes to training flooring, durability is the most important factor. With Regapol's established 65-year history, the decision for our studio flooring was simple. Made from recycled tires, Regapol floors are indestructible, durable, and easy to install, and has less smell than other rubber flooring products on the market. To purchase, go to roguefitness.com and search Regupol. That's spelled REGUPOL. Get strong, grow durable, and unlock your potential on Regapol rubber flooring. Recover faster, breathe easier, and increase your endurance with Airwave's scientifically proven performance mouthpiece. If high-intensity or interval-style training is your sport, try their patented endurance mouthpiece. I opted for the Mayhem 2-pack with one of each. For podcast listeners only, save 15% of your purchase at airwave.com/Froning. That's airwave.com/Froning. Me and Ben had this big, text thread back and forth about trying to get our real IDs before that last hunting trip because the way our original plan was, we didn't actually have a return flight because we've learned with hunting trips it's better just not to have a return flight. But if we had, killed on the last day, our return trip would have been the day that all of that would have changed, where you had to have a real ID. So we took our passport and stuff, and then it all came to naught.
How do I know if I have a real ID?
I'll say,
You have
do
a
you
star
guys?
on it. You have to have a star on it.
You
I've
don't.
not went.
If you think
Yeah,
if you don't know, then you
No, I
probably
think
don't.
no. I think I got it before, but I can't remember.
Did you have to take
a gold star on it?
Oh, nice.
But I've had this for
Show that to the camera.
but I've had this for years.
Yeah, they keep on putting. I mean, for years they've been pushing back. They're like, you got
they-
to have it by now, and they
You're
push it
supposed to
back
have it by
a year.
2020, when
yeah.
COVID
Oh,
hit.
okay.
Oh,
And then
dang.
It's been
I got this in 2020.
I think in Michigan we got to have new
It's the mark of
updated
the
ones
beast.
that allow us to cross the border. I believe
Canada.
Oh, cool.
Canada
Pay a tariff?
or the new state.
You got to pay a tariff.
Yeah.
Molly, my teammate, her dad. Gosh, what did he do? He got arrested in Canada, anyways. Because they're Michigan. He got arrested in Canada. Not either it was something. Gosh, maybe
He was
it
rude to someone.
Maybe I don't know.
Sorry.
No,
He didn't say sorry.
Sorry.
it's something ridiculous. Maybe a speeding ticket or something ridiculous, and he didn't have whatever he needed to have. He didn't have his passport or whatever it was. But it was this huge misunderstanding. And he's not, he's not that far from home. Even he's
I got 7 beaver pellets. I can try and get out of this.
Man, I wish I could remember. She said he was just flustered all day, because he's just he's the nicest guy ever too, and he got freaking arrested in Canada for doing something
I've heard the
Now you
horror
got to do
stories.
something crazy.
I've heard the horror stories of people trying to cross the bridge and getting pulled over. No,
Yeah.
no,
You
not-
did that. You and
Well,
you
almost.
And, you
No,
and
we
Kurt.
almost. We almost.
God.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
if I've told that story on this podcast
that
before.
was. gosh, I forgot about that.
We were going to Michigan, 15 years ago.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Gosh, it's probably, 10,
I mean, it was
11.
right when we started CrossFit, and it was me, Darren, Johnson, and Kurt. And there was some wreck in the middle of the night. We were driving kind of up through the night.
Yeah.
There was some wreck, and I was like, screw it, I'm going to sleep. And so I fell asleep in the bed of the truck.
So you're talking prior to like even us getting to
Well, I'm setting up the story. So I fell asleep in the bed of the truck, and then they take off. You know, we're at dead stop, like 30 minutes dead stop. So I'm in the bed of the truck. I wake up and we're at speed. So I'm like beating on the cab. I'm like, let me in the truck because I don't trust you fools. Well, then I fall asleep in the back seat of the truck, and then all of a sudden I wake up and Darren and Kurt are like freaking out. And I sit up, and we're on a bridge.
I see
with
red
like
and white. I'm
a
like,
toll.
Took a wrong.
They took the bridge to Canada, and so I'm like, they're like, what do we do?
Scenic
What do we
route.
do?
I've heard
and
it's
you
easy
can't
to
just
get
like
to
Huey.
It's very like like the way they had set up. They actually changed it like sense, but like all it is literally left.
There's
or right.
signs
And-
that say
and
bridge to Canada.
at midnight at night. You're not.
No,
looking
it
at
was
that.
8 a.m.
and you're
at
in
this
Detroit,
point.
so you're like this. You're like,
And you guys are Blair and the Eminem. I already
yes,
know.
Lincoln Park and Eminem.
Dude,
Montage.
I can almost one up that because I went to the semifinals one year in Copenhagen, or it was just outside of Copenhagen. You get to the airport and they've got like a roundabout there, and we did the same thing. We're like, okay, off you go. Crossing a bridge and crossing it for way too long. We're like, this can't be right. And we show up to the Swedish border. We're like, we're in the complete wrong country. I was like, sorry, we don't know what to do here, guys. They just shook their heads and just kind of sent us back across.
And I mean, and like that's the thing too. It's like when you get past a certain point, there's no turning around.
turning back.
Yeah,
like you got to go all the way
go
up
through
to
it
the
all.
border patrol, and you got to go through the whole thing.
Hey,
gotta
buddy,
be a
I
thing.
made a wrong turn.
Yeah.
They probably
It's
see,
gotta
I mean,
happen
how
next
many?
time,
It has to. That's why I like when Rich is like, "What are you guys doing?" And I'm like, "Ah,
We don't know.
go back to sleep."
We don't know.
Or even like where Ange grew up in Port Huron.
So
we
easy.
were so close to accidentally getting onto the bridge where like you're going to Sarnia no matter what. you know,
Exactly.
like-
Yep. And that was
You're stuck in traffic.
that was always like the big thing because over there the drinking age is 18
Oh yeah.
or something like that. Drinking and gambling. So it's like that was always like the rite of passage. As soon as you turn, it's like you cross over. I couldn't do it because I was 17, but I heard about it, so I'd have to stand on the other side
Your
of
mom
the wave.
listens, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's like the bar that she used to work in like her college years. It literally in the basement had a caved-in tunnel that had gone under the river. It was like a bootlegging
No way.
under the river. It was pretty wild. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Jeez. Wow. Did you guys meet in a bar, Roy?
Before her time.
Did you guys meet in a bar?
We met at a CrossFit gym, believe it or not.
At a bar.
Well, we went to the bar afterwards many times. Yeah. Those are the days where I would do a CrossFit workout, go to the bar.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, it's 2 PM.
That sounds a good time for a beer.
Yeah.
Nothing else doing.
Scott's from the opposite end of the state, so he didn't experience any of that.
Yeah,
He
sorry.
couldn't
The
drive
Wisconsin
under Lake
border.
Michigan.
No. Well, we if we went over, it was through the UP.
To the UP.
Hey, who
The
was it that said?
Upers.
Well, who were we with that said if you're not from the UP, you're not really from Michigan?
That was
it you?
in no. We were
It was
Rich
Rob,
and I were.
Was
in,
it Rob?
Yeah, Rich and I were in
Oh,
Illinois,
okay.
and the farm manager for the place. We were
Yeah, yeah.
Those
said that
people
too.
up there.
But the funny thing is,
I was like, you trolls.
the funny thing is, he's from Marquette, and so if you know about the UP, Marquette is the least UP city that you could possibly be from.
Because it's tourists. Like,
Well,
that's
not
like,
even that, but it's like when I picture people from the UP, I don't picture Marquette.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it.
No, I know, but that's actually like a true statement.
Yeah.
Like,
So that was funny. I was like, it's like they always say the troll thing, but yeah,
Yeah.
he's from
Darren,
Marquette.
how old is that hat?
it's a very old hat.
And it's not even in like shambles.
No, the only part that's in shambles is just like the inside's got the sweat stains.
Yeah, but still.
But
it
yeah, I know. I found
is
it.
old.
That
I
was
found it kind of sitting. I was like,
And
I like
usually
this
those
hat.
hats get the like weird wrinkle.
They
on
get
them.
in here.
Yeah,
It's like
on the
right
ring.
here.
Yeah.
I know.
Well done.
Because I have so many of these hats, but they all have the indent. And I'm like, I can't really wear it unless it's backwards.
Yeah. Man.
I know. I'm pulling out the socks. I'm pulling out the hat.
Like 2015. That's good.
Except for his shirt says 2025.
Except the shirt and the shorts. But hey, but who the heck's counting? What were we? Oh my gosh, we were going through, me and my cousin were going through scores a while back. Like every time the Open comes around, we always like go back and like look at, you know,
don't ever do that, Darren.
I know, but you know, we're like,
that.
you know, look at like the good old days.
What we used to be.
What year was it that you competed in the adult division as a teen?
It was the first year because he
Was
tried
it
to.
bit- right?
Well, 13 and 14.
What was,
Well,
I mean,
15.
but like, what was the reason though? Because they dropped.
Well, 13 and 14, that wasn't the teen division. And
That's
then
right.
15,
That's what it was. Okay.
15 was
that's
when
what that's what I couldn't remember because I always thought the teens. I always thought they had the teens, but it wasn't at the games.
Well, they had this. They only had one teen competition. I don't even know where it was, or like I couldn't find any information about it. It was called the Teen Gauntlet, and
That's what it was called.
Yeah, and I don't know. I had no idea how to get involved in it. Like I just read an article about it on like CrossFit.com, and I had no idea. I was like, hey, I'd love to do this. I couldn't figure out how to do
right.
it. And what he's saying is, in 2015 on Friday night, I just did the Friday Night Lights. I just did the regular open workout.
Yeah.
because there wasn't any.
Because you almost
teen
beat us.
division. No,
That was, I
no
remember.
way.
I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
And then Sarge on Monday, he's like, "Hey, you're an idiot if you don't do it." I mean, this is not everybody, but him more so than anybody else, I guess. It's like, "Hey, you're an idiot if you don't just sign up and do it." And I'm like, "All right, I'll do it." And so I just redid the open workout, the teen workout, and then I don't know if I could put in both scores. He's like, "Just do the teen thing."
Yeah.
And I'm sure you both were saying the same thing. And I was like, "Fine, whatever, I'll do it." And then I think I won the first week, and I was like, "Okay, maybe I should."
Maybe I should.
Maybe I
listen
might
to
be
the old
okay
man.
at this. I might listen to that wise old goat, Sarge.
So 15, that was the first teenage.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know that's crazy.
I thought it went back further too.
Yeah, I know.
honestly.
So did I. That's what.
No, it was
so
like-
yeah. So that's
Year 3, year 2.
so that's 10 years ago. Yeah. Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Well, 11.
Oh,
This is my 11th. This would be the 11th season, I guess.
Okay. All right. Well, happy
What'd
anniversary.
you,
11.
What'd you say?
I don't
Thought
know.
there was something
Doesn't
before that.
matter.
No.
Doesn't matter.
No,
Didn't add to the conversation.
Any names that competed then that are still in it?
Oh yeah. I think Alexis was there. Alexis Raptis. I think she was there.
Sterner?
He was not there that year. I think he probably did what I did on accident. A lot of people did what I did. I think Medeiros did what I did, where he did not do the teen. Or maybe he didn't do it yet, because 2016, I think I kept him out of the games in 16.
Dallin was just behind you, right? And
Dallin's 2 years younger than me.
Yeah, and James was too.
James the same age as him.
Yeah.
James a freaking string bean the first year he won. Dude, I mean, it is hilarious. He's like, he probably snatched.
And Guy
145.
obviously wasn't in it that time.
He was there in 17 was
He was
his
there in
first
se-
year, yeah.
okay.
And I think
Are you guys the same age?
me and Guy,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a couple months older than him, but yes, yeah, we're the same age. Yeah, Medeiros. Because I went back. I did the same thing. I went back. And looked, I was
Yeah.
like,
We were just
holy
looking.
shit.
I was like, wow, there's some names in here, and I was looking at like
Jay
the score.
Crouch. Jay Crouch
Jay
and
Crouch.
and
Yeah,
Medeiros
yeah.
both didn't make it. Forget there was a couple others of like legit people. I think
There's some names. Wow.
Yeah,
There's a lot of names from there.
Bailey Martin went in 2017, and then there was a lot of guys that like when you look through, you're like, holy crap, like those guys are.
Yeah.
Because they probably they were probably
Playing other sports?
yeah,
and
they were
doing real
probably
life?
just like they were probably just doing whatever, and then they were like, I'll just do it. Like that's kind of how Sam got into it. I think Sam did a CrossFit workout in 2016. My teammate Sam, and like that probably some of those guys were like they probably went to the gym on Friday and were like, I guess I'll just do this workout.
Yeah.
And sign up for the open, and they didn't even.
Well, my
know.
class is taken away, so I'll do this one.
Yeah.
Sam was super early in CrossFit whenever I met him.
Yeah. He did. I think he said he did a workout in high school or
Didn't
a
you
couple.
guys compete together or something?
His
at Fresh
first
Coast?
ever competition was with me at Fresh Coast.
He said you beat the shit out of him.
Dre looked at the workouts.
What happened to me now?
Really?
So
Dre's doing it.
yeah. So story goes, Fresh Coast sent us the workouts to approve. Me, Lockhart, some others, and I was like, Morley, I can't look at them.
Oh, good for you.
Give me that.
And so I sent them to Angelo. I was like, hey, just make sure they're good. Make sure, like I trust Angelo's judgment. I walk into the barn yesterday, and Ben, who's doing the competition, Dre, who's doing the competition, he's like, hey, let's do one of the Fresh Coast workouts. And I was like, you know them?
Hey, when you texted me, I was literally in a meeting with Lockhart right then.
And so I fought
I thought
the urge.
I thought you were. I was like, where is he?
No, so I fought the urge to look at him yesterday.
In his defense, I guess I was included on that email, so
know.
sent him to a bunch of people.
I don't think Ben's doing it, is he?
Yeah, supposedly.
He might not be able
I
to.
just love.
Well, hey, let's
I
talk
just
about him.
love that they're just.
And
I'm kidding.
I'm sitting. Me and Lockhart are
still
sitting
don't
and they
know.
were talking over them.
But I
talking
told
back and
Angelo, I
forth.
was like, hey, make sure Lockhart doesn't mess these up because Lockhart doesn't have a good grasp on team workouts.
Yeah.
And so, like,
They're
there's
good.
a specialty and a nuance
Yeah.
to writing team workouts that are good team workouts, and
Yeah.
especially with 3 people.
Yeah.
Three people is an art. It really
And
is.
well, the good thing is he sent.
And
what he sent
Russ
is
is
good.
good at it. So like,
he is
I,
good.
But
Really
I
good.
still want to make sure like
Yeah, they're good.
they're not too ridiculous.
No,
Now
they're
hold
good.
on. Did you look at him?
No, I did not. I have no idea that they're
Were you
even
not in the
sent.
email?
Are
I
you
thought you
looking
were.
at them like
Well,
right
look
now?
at him
Why?
because
Oh,
I
you-
might catch a glance.
No, you can't
Yeah.
see it. I got a privacy screen.
No, you
Hold-
don't. I can see your phone right there.
The thing that you wanted me.
You were gonna think on camera we're looking
Well,
at.
I don't
it.
wanna
I do
talk
know
about
that
this
there
on
was a 1 rep max,
Yeah.
and I don't know what it was.
I don't wanna talk about it. I
I
don't
don't
wanna
know what
talk
it
about it because
was, but I know there was a 1 rep max, and I extremely disdain 1 rep maxes, especially in local competitions,
Whoa.
especially
And on sand.
in the sand, in the heat.
Okay.
like it's a horrible.
Scott's gonna back me up on this.
I don't
you know,
care.
hey,
The other 99% of people are gonna jizz themselves when they see it.
I was just about to say,
To
do
put
you
it
know
light-
who
sorry.
loves local? Do you know who
To
loves
put it in
1
a
rep
lighter
maxes? People that go to local competitions.
I know, but it's so.
Yeah.
But you get some. Never mind.
No, I fixed that part of it. I fixed the part that you were just about to say. That part's
But
fixed, I think.
and it also depends on the movement and how slick it gets.
got
Like you're in
got
90-degree heat.
Hey, just trust me.
I don't trust you
Just
now that I know
trust
that you
me.
let it slide
And
through the
no,
cracks.
nothing's. Hey, trust me. Let me see. Let me just read one text I said to Jake. Trust me.
And the
Jake
thing
will
is,
tell
it's
you how much
like
pushback
I mean,
there is.
I hate them because 1 rep maxes go against everything that I
That
am
I'm
good
good
at
at.
or will ever even touch. But the crowds love.
And to play
rep
devil's
max.
advocate, should a local competition be catering to the athletes that are at that level or Rich Froning?
Yeah.
Me, if I'm
Yeah.
going.
Yeah,
What?
I 100% agree. What? What?
Let's
Me.
see.
Well, while he's looking for that, let's just talk a little bit more about for people that don't know Fresh Coast. Is this too late to sign up? Can people still sign up?
I think
I
it's
think
probably
so.
too late.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There
That
is.
sucks for
Are
you
going
guys.
this year?
I'm gonna come, but I'm not signed up. Remember,
a
it was me
blast.
and
And,
supposed to be AJ?
and you're looking at the workouts.
and I'm looking at the workout. Like it
And-
would
yeah,
matter.
I'll sign. Yeah, that's why you're asking about signing up.
Oh, Rory only won because you practiced. You could give them to me 2 years
He
in
just
advance.
looked at me and was like, "Is it too late to sign up? I think I might like this."
It would make zero difference.
No, but there is
I just need
there
to
is
read
a wait list because like any competition during the summertime, people always drop out. Like there's always that. So I know but I assume they probably have a pretty lengthy wait list.
Oh yeah.
Because it's
a
gotten
good time.
bigger every single year.
It's a good time.
But the
Yeah,
concept
they're-
is your combined age has to be.
Well, to be in the
One-
Masters.
yeah,
division.
yeah,
There is an
Masters.
open.
You guys are doing
Regular age.
Which are you doing?
We're doing Masters.
Okay, so
It's
your
me,
combined
Jay
age.
Webb, and Dan Bailey.
Oh, that's awesome.
Last
Who's
year,
on your team?
It was Swift,
It's
and then Swift,
me, Tim, and Brandon.
Okay.
and then it was me, Steve Swift, and Jay Webb the first year. It was supposed to be us again last year, and then Swift works for Speedway Motorsports Incorporated. So middle of the NASCAR season, he gets called out. And so I was like, "Hey Dan, you in?" And Dan came up, and so now I'm like, we gotta like defend. Well, the problem is so we won the Masters.
Okay.
But Dre and Ben and Pat,
Yeah, Pat.
they
yeah.
were in the open division, and technically they beat us. But they put
because they were
scores
doing
in there.
overall.
They were
Yeah,
doing
yeah, they were
overall.
doing
we got
overall.
second
one.
overall, even within a combined age of like we're way over the cap too.
That's
Like
awesome.
you have to be
Brag
110, I
about
think, and I think we're like 125 or something.
You freaking old bastard.
Old bastard.
Watching Dan too, because it was so cool, like the nostalgia of it. But then I think like reality hit people like pretty hard too as well. Like because like people
Well,
think
we
of
smashed
they-
that
they
snatch
did-
toes to
yeah.
bar workout, and
And
then
they would-
that squat workout. Dan was slobbering,
but it's like
everywhere.
like Dan and like guys like me, Dan, Rich, he can hold on for a couple workouts. But like when you get to that last workout of that day and you've been out in the sun the whole day,
didn't you do
and so-
something? Didn't you hurt your? No, you're. Well,
No.
Who hurt himself?
Tim,
yeah.
Tim
Blew his
popped his
bicep
bicep
out.
out. So like we had to take, and everybody's hands are bleeding out of the
Dude,
bar.
we did a bunch of snatching.
Bunch of snatching.
We did a bunch of toes to bar. Not a
prior.
bunch of toes to bar, but some
still,
toes to bar.
Pulling
and then
on
like,
the rower, even so.
pulling on the
that's
rower, and then the last workout was like chest to bar or
muscle. It was
muscle up, and something else.
You had cleans in there.
Yeah, and so like everybody's hands literally.
And the very first workout's a swim, and you don't think about it, but you prune the hell out of your hands.
Well, and then also like you're sweating because it was 90 degrees.
Yeah.
The best thing about that whole event is though, last year was hotter than the first year. First year was like overcast and nice, but as soon as you finish the workout, you just walk into Lake Michigan. It's like 60 degrees.
Yeah, and you just flop right in.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's the only thing that motivates you through any workout.
Like the last workout, I remember like just like running by because you ended on shuttle runs. Like you had to do shuttle runs. I remember Dan and Rich's team were already like ahead of us, but me and Dan were on the run at the same time. I ran by Dan and he's, and Dan's like think of Dan, you think of sprinter.
Yeah,
but I like to see him.
Did he run track in college?
Yes, I believe so, and I believe he caught his glasses when he did the hurdle. That's always the video that we always see. It is cool.
It is.
But yeah, Fresh Coast is a good time. It's something we look forward to. It gives me something to
and it's like cool family wise.
Kicks off my
because now all of us like have like kids. It's like you can bring your kids there, you can hang out.
Got that BCS and then 806 Classic.
That's your season.
806 was a blast last year too. You need to look at going to that with us this year.
Hey.
It was a good time.
Hey.
BCS. When does this come out, Scott?
Tomorrow.
Oh, perfect. So you have to until the 19th, which is Monday, I believe, to do the BCS qualifiers. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, BCS qualifiers.
They're fun. Only 4 workouts, so you got plenty of time.
Pretty fun workouts minus the
snatch and
burpee.
God.
The bench row is pretty good. Row bench was a good one.
Dude, a one-day competition is rough though.
No, this is a Friday night. You
got that's what I was like. Four
like
workouts in a
one
day.
Friday night and then 3 on Saturday. Similar to 806 is the same way too, which I think Brooks and them are coming up. So we can program those. That one's in October.
4 workouts in a day, jeez. Yeah,
but that one's great. I'm excited to go check out Fresh Coast. But it's kind of refreshing to go and see those like local comps where it's just all
fun.
I mean, at BCS sometimes you have 600 teams, 700 teams.
Crazy.
Some massive
people.
Yeah.
It's hot as hell.
And I would say,
it's
a human. Or
it's like 100. It was like 105 2 years ago. Last year wasn't quite as bad, but like the AC was running in the RV the whole time, was not keeping up. It's just like so freaking hot.
And what was the only workout that we got to do in the
Inside
AC?
Was not even that
like
hard of
kind
a
of
workout
canceled,
in the AC.
Yeah.
It'd be a great workout to do out in the heat because there was no like grip or anything. It was the clean and jerk one.
Yeah. Well, and then the year before was the deadlift handstand walk.
Bike.
And that was like the shortest one too.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't do them all inside?
No.
There's like 2.
There's 2 that are in like that you do Friday nights usually in the Ag Pavilion, and it's hot, but it's not terrible because it's
at night.
It's at night.
Yeah, that one's not that bad.
It's still hot. And then Saturday you're outside in this Ag. You're all undercover. But it's open air.
Yeah.
And you're just, there's these giant big ass fans up top, but I don't know if they actually do much.
Like maybe when you
they're just pushing the hot air back down on you.
Yeah, they're just
like
cycling the hot air.
You.
It's like an oven.
Yeah, it really is. It's like you walk outside and you're like,
broil?
I'm cooking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it freaking cooks you.
That's my childhood. That's about the time I would have been doing 2-a-days for football.
Oh yeah,
in Austin.
That really is unbelievable. Like when you think about that, like when we were driving around looking at the stadiums and stuff, and it's like this is high school Texas football down here. It's like this is insane.
You know what's crazy?
Religion.
I wonder if the meat in your body would be cooked if you hung out in there that long. Like think about it. Like if you sous vide something, it's in like 120-degree water for a while.
You could just make some biltong.
You've been
watching, your body,
watching Silence of the Lambs? Or?
you just hold your arm. Maybe you can put your body in the air conditioning, but you put your arm. No, you need your whole core temperature. So you just go out into that Ag Pavilion and just like
you just hack off some skin and
you just
hang it from the rig.
Saw it off and you just
got Angelo out there like, with a little stick. He's like,
just taking chunks of meat out. And I mean, it's got to be getting cooked. You got to be cooking your meat.
It's a slow cook.
That's crazy.
Angela, have you ever heard that like cannibalism is frowned upon because apparently like human tastes so good that you can't go back once you've had it?
No, I've never heard that it was so good. I've always heard it's just like kind of bad pork.
I heard it's just bad taste, just in general.
What a weird right turn.
All right, and the WFP event went on this weekend.
Well, I was wondering if we'd get to current events, but if we aren't, I would love to go down the cannibalism route.
No, let's not take it down that route.
Wait, hold on. The only thing I want to know, why do you know so much about it?
Reddit. Scott got on a Reddit thread a couple weeks ago.
I really do think it's
all right, so I want you guys to explain to me the WFP.
We can't.
Yeah, I just because
Did you guys
here-
watch
no one
any
here
of it?
can.
Did
I'm
you guys pay
serious.
attention at all, or am I speaking
I
to
checked
the
to
void?
see where Austin was all weekend.
because that's what I just did, but I still don't know how this all works.
I watched a couple,
actually
like, as we were walking through the coffee shop, I would, like, stop
how
and,
it
like,
works, right?
see what was going on, see how Jorge did. Jorge was another one I was checking on pretty regularly. Yeah, that's it.
And
So
you were
It looked.
At face
Yeah.
value, it's a competitive season in which athletes in the pro division are given a salary.
Not all of them.
Really?
I think
Not all the pros?
I think all the pros have a salary.
No, I
20,
don't
the
think
top
so.
20?
I think
All the
think
good
you-
pros get a salary.
all the good pros.
I think all of them.
And then there's a competitors
No,
division,
you in the qualifier.
challengers.
There's like
challenger.
in the qualifier. There's like I think there's 10 spots, 5 or 10 spots, just like Rogue. It's just like Rogue.
So the top 20 pros.
yeah,
have
and
a
then
salary.
some of the pros.
No, some of them get a salary.
yes,
And then only the top 10 get paid at the event.
yes.
Okay.
All
but,
that.
but all the top 20 get a salary, technically.
yes,
okay.
yeah.
God, I need
Not
a pen
the top.
and paper.
Yeah, and then
So there's three events currently
That's right.
planned. So there's it's
One
a
just
three event season.
This has nothing to do with the games, right?
at all, not at all.
Not a
Right.
thing to do.
Not
it's
at all.
Actually,
It's
the
not even-
exact opposite, and
it's
it's
not
not even the
competitive.
same.
Okay, but
it's
so
not
that's
even
what
the
I'm saying,
same
like-
methodology or anything.
It's not competitive
even
at all.
CrossFit.
In fact, you can't say that word. Please stop.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't say that.
It's
Darren, do you not know
functional
any
fitness.
of this?
I mean, again, I just saw it as another competition. That's
Functional,
all, like I never read
functional
into
fitness training. I had this same conversation with Hillary the other day.
Thank you.
day,
I don't like trying to explain.
and
that.
she said, what are they doing? Why is Luke's doing something this weekend where he's what's different than what all the other athletes are doing this weekend? I said, well, Luke's trying to get to the CrossFit Games. She said, well, what are the other athletes doing? I said,
trying to make money.
they're just competing.
So
And
is
she's
it
like, so
Canadian
that doesn't
football to
matter.
American
She's like,
football?
this is her word. She goes, so the other event doesn't matter. I was like,
yeah, no.
it matters, but it doesn't matter for the CrossFit season.
All right, so let me
okay,
ask this
so
question to Rory on this.
Hold
or
on,
whoever.
can I-
Yeah,
1 second while I'm on this.
I'll
this
give you one.
train of thought. This is a long answer. So you
a
WFP.
long train.
You've
Tuck
got
in.
you've got three.
This is going to lead to the Turin thing that he wants to talk about.
You've
Yeah,
got
I'll
three
bring it up.
events.
And
There was one in
cannibalism.
Indy this weekend. There's going to be one in Tucson, Arizona.
No, Phoenix.
Phoenix, Arizona,
Whatever,
in
Arizona.
Copenhagen.
what?
Copenhagen.
No,
Yes.
what month?
Oh,
Where you
August.
went.
Shh. What, August.
August.
And then there's one in
Yeah.
Copenhagen
In December.
in December. And so for them, there's three events. Each event has a score. The final event is a double score.
points.
The final event in Copenhagen is double points.
Oh,
The athletes get paid. The top 20 athletes are on salary for each of these events.
Okay.
They also get paid out if they do well at the event. So that's the pro division. Well, then there's a challenger division that
was
people
gonna be
could
my
have
question.
qualified through an online qualifier.
Correct.
They go in person and they can earn a pro card.
Yes.
By winning.
Scott, I'm asking
Yes.
Scott.
So it's like points. So the only problem, or not problem, like the hard part for the challenger is that like the winning challenger got 250 points, but the like 20th place pro division got like 320 points.
So it's going to be hard to work.
So
that
So,
way.
okay,
I would
so,
think
yeah,
it would be
you-
really hard for them to
Because I
work.
saw a
We're
guy
never-
tie in them. or
Well,
in the
because they're also
challenger.
like they're not getting so like the pros are getting travel stipends and all this stuff to go to every event, obviously, because they're on contract. But the challengers don't get that, so they probably have to go to all three events as
Yeah.
challengers and like get top
Yep.
10 to punch into the top.
I also,
20.
I'm not trying not to credit the right person, but I've just, in scrolling, I saw an interview and I forget where it was. But the rumor there was that, like, let's say if Hatfield won, what, 30 grand?
Yeah.
And let's just say that his contract was for 90 grand.
Oh, that's what.
that you had to basically pay back your contract and winnings before you actually got paid.
No.
That's,
Hey, whoa.
that's what they were saying.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Right, Scott? You see what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
it
Come
was
on.
Scott Clydesdale Media. He said that on his podcast. Is that true? I don't know. So
Is that true?
I
If so,
assume
can you
they,
imagine, like,
hand
you would-
it to him, then take it like right back. Like, hey,
Yeah.
Like basically Hatfield would have, let's just say that his contract was for 90 grand. He would have to win all three events
before he actually
made anything above and beyond 90 grand.
Yeah, I
Maybe
don't know
should
if
be
that's
complete
true or
rumor,
not.
no
idea.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
wow.
But let's recap.
Yes.
The
back me up.
WFP is an
He'd made 90
all-star
grand.
is 3 all-star showcases that look, smell, and feel a lot like regionals. That will
I
be
thought-
broadcast, which guarantee athletes in the pro division money and challengers an opportunity to get into the pro division. And it does, yes, lay over the CrossFit Games season. It does cause some interesting situations for athletes. They are now giving out this is your purview. They now have affiliates, which would be perfect for you. You might be able to get involved.
I can talk.
And we don't know exactly what the affiliates do.
I will say though.
Wait, they have WFP affiliates.
But I think we should give some compliments too, because I did think that the weekend was like what I saw. I didn't stop and tune in except when it was playing in the coffee shop. Thought that it was well done.
Yeah, I was about to say the broadcast I thought was really good.
I tuned in on the lifting one, and I hated the
Couldn't see
spotlight.
anything going on.
I hate that. To me, that was one of the worst things I've ever
So
seen.
creepy.
Like,
So I think they could have definitely done the spotlight thing better, but a lot of people have criticized the lighting, but I thought, what's so
Thanks,
funny?
Scott.
I thought that I was happy they were trying things with the lighting.
see, I don't like that though.
I think it could have been.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm
Say
going
it,
down the.
say it nicer to me.
No.
Come on.
I'm just thinking of Django.
yeah.
We all think
Oh,
the bags was a nice idea, but they could have been done better.
that's the lighting. That's exactly.
But it's like,
That your comment was good.
That's
but it's
exactly,
like when you
yeah.
watch like any lifting event, it's the build up to their lift. Like, you know, like you watch like the emotion of it. You watch like the,
That was what
I
everyone
mean,
said,
yeah,
yeah. You
oh,
can't see the
okay.
emotion.
It was
okay,
too,
gotcha. Yeah, but
it was too tight of a circle.
yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
spread it out.
Well,
sure.
they celebrated out of the light too.
See,
I'm just happy they tried something though.
yeah,
because
I mean, it
for
is
people
something
to
different,
like
but
criticize them for the lighting that are just fine with how the semifinals were in 2023 when I might as well have like not even been able to see. It doesn't make sense. to me.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Scott's going full WFP here.
I know. Well,
I
crossing bridges.
I just think you got to give credit where credit's due.
No,
so
I'm
like,
kidding.
I just
Yeah,
thought
it was
that-
it was cool.
I really going into it, I thought the broadcast was gonna be like a train wreck, like just because you didn't know what to expect. It was incredible. Broadcast was great.
Better than Mayhem Classic.
No, because we had better broadcasters, and it was a more like fun feel. I think they were a little stuffy, but from like a technical
Allergy season.
standpoint, their broadcast was great. And I thought that it was cool that they tried some things with the lighting. I think where they messed up the most over the course of the weekend was the fact that if you think about like what it seems like they're trying to do, which is have like a Wadapalooza type feel, but the local competition is happening on the same floor as the pro, like they get to compete on those same types of floors.
Yeah.
They shoved the like people like me that are like local level. They were off in some corner. No one even knew what was going on. It was like a sideshow.
It's like teens and masters at the game.
yeah.
Yeah, that part I think was like in my head the biggest criticism of the event that I would have is like they turned the community level into a total like sideshow, which is like one thing if you're at the CrossFit Games, like that makes sense to me. But if your whole thing is like trying to get those people to support the event,
that's your moneymaker.
yeah, so that's
is.
where it'll be tough. Like if it's Rogue Invitational or something, that's one thing. But if you're trying to, in my head, like they'd be trying to sustain themselves on that.
Yeah.
Hiller brought up a good point in his video. He's like, all this stuff is great, and it was a really well run event. The lighting was whether you liked it or not, like it was there, right? The broadcast was good. All of it's super expensive. How are they going to sustain that for any amount of time?
Well, they
We'll
have
have
a
to
lot
wait.
of money.
We'll have to wait
That's
and see.
gonna help. They have a lot of money. I think I thought they have a huge budget that they've
People
already planned
that
out
have a lot
for
of money
while.
though don't like losing a lot of money
No,
year
for
over
sure.
year over year.
year over year.
Yeah, no. I mean, eventually they do
Very
have
well
to.
said, Scott.
Eventually they do have to find a way to sustain itself. Like you can't just keep.
And
pouring
I
money
mean,
in from
maybe
other places.
this year is that test year. You know, I mean,
But
if
from
it
the
dissolves or if it
pro
hangs.
the pro division or challenger or whatever you want to, like both of those, like everything that happened on the main floor and broadcast, I thought was really well done.
So are contracts a year? Are they all like a year contract or?
You're asking the wrong
Okay.
guy.
Yes.
didn't know.
I think,
I would
like
imagine
you
they
said,
would
if you
be.
get more points than somebody else,
The
then
top
you take
20
their
at
pro
the
card.
end of this
Yeah.
year
Your pro
will
card could
be
taken.
the top 20 at the end of this year will be pros.
Yeah.
And Copenhagen is the finale.
Mm-hmm.
And it's double points,
Double points.
just like Family Feud.
And if you're the champion, like, what does that mean?
I think you just get more money.
Just get more money.
Yeah. I don't know what your title would be.
Right. That's what I'm. Yeah.
I like the idea. I like the not. I feel like it's more similar to tennis or golf, and we've kind of
Yeah.
been saying that for years that you could do something like that.
It is pretty similar to golf.
Yeah, I just
Sounds
would
like it.
just wish the whole thing would get smoothed out and like with everybody, you know. Like you could throw the Rogue Invitational, you know, WFP could have 2 events, Rogue could have an event, and, you know, I don't know.
I mean, they just made it clear they don't want to play ball with anybody. Like that's the thing.
I don't know if they made that clear.
They didn't make it clear, but it's clear to everybody.
Yeah, I just wish we could get people a bunch of people at the table and say, hey, how do we fix this thing? How do we right the ship? You know, like it's just getting frustrating. It's beyond frustrating at this point.
So the synthesize is better as opposed to being
hey,
like fractured.
Yeah. That's and I think
I feel like everybody kind of like takes their piece and they're like, I'm going over here and you can't. We're not gonna, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Man, how cool would it be to have a huge CrossFit event and then maybe even a High Rocks at the same time? Of like,
You love High Rocks. You say it all the time.
I just think it's cool, man. It gets people moving. Like I wouldn't do one. I hate running. Like,
Hey, we were talking about this yesterday in the office, and since I said it in there, I'll say it on here to your face. I think that, and I think you'll agree, I think you doing a High Rocks would probably like cripple you for a day or 2.
yeah, for sure.
Like the running, because you have to run so fast in a High Rocks.
Honestly, it's the wall balls at the end that I'm most afraid of.
It's not the running. It's 8K
No,
of
running. Honestly, I can run fine. It's
Just
just
running
having
and
to
then
get
having to
below
squat.
parallel after running.
Okay.
That's.
I was just thinking about when we ran
like,
with,
if we did it reverse, I would be fine.
when we ran with Cam.
So
wasn't
that's the
your
running
knee
for
really
me.
messed up from that?
I'm gonna say it's
Not as bad as I thought it would be.
No, it's
And honestly,
the
like
wrong-
running
1K
doesn't
in the
even
1K.
necessarily hurt it that bad anymore. It's the trying to get like it just like this is as far a flexion I can get the day after, you know.
Yeah.
I think too, it's like there's a different approach in a High Rocks. If you're doing it to try and be competitive or just doing it just to complete it, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever step out and do like a obstacle course race or a Spartan or anything like that?
Never have. No.
I went and did a
back when
Tough
Spartan
Mudder.
races were a thing.
I didn't do a Spartan. I did a Tough Mudder, and it was a
Electrical
blast.
field.
Yeah, the electrical
Yeah.
field. It's like the people there were
Dropped
so
you at the
fired
end.
up.
That was always-
And like, dude, you're talking like waves and waves and waves of
Yeah, that's
people.
what
Like
he said. It was
so many
crazy.
people.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been vocal about as long as you're training, I think
As long as you're doing something.
doing something. And you know, like I think we got lost in this like there was this weird time where it's like, you know, be the best version of yourself and you don't have to compete. Like we're putting too much emphasis on competition. Oh, I think there needs to be an emphasis on doing something. Like we do this 12-hour like mountain bike, or we're doing the 24-hour mountain bike. Like
It's not good for you.
got it. You got to get people
But,
out
yeah.
of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
And like
100%.
Challenging
Li-
yourself in a relative
life
level
is too.
yeah.
We're too soft.
Yeah.
Like comfort,
Yeah,
you know,
we're
like
pretty soft.
comfort. If
Actually
you're
nice.
always comfortable, there's no growth, like in anything. And so, yeah, I don't know. I've had this kind of realization, you know, the amount of local competitions we've done in the past, 3 or 4 years since I done, you know, competing on the professional level. Man, it's just fun to see people like look forward to something, train for something, do something. And I think, you know, I think High Rock, I don't know if High Rocks has the staying power. To me, it sounds a lot like Tough Mudder. It sounds a lot like
I think it's got
Spartan
high.
Race because
Yeah.
it's like it's the same thing over and over. I think if they can maybe tweak them a little bit here and there, like, you know, change up the movements just a little bit, even you know, I'm fine with the low skill, that type of stuff.
It's got to be changed.
But it's got to be
changed.
changed.
Kind of like how
Just
they
my
do
opinion, to take it
Ironmans,
for
they
what
do
it's
the
worth.
sprint triathlons or
Yeah,
things
there's
like
different
that. Yeah, there's
distances.
different things that
Yeah,
you can mess
I mean, I
around
guess
with.
that's hard to like argue that. But I mean, the course changes.
Yeah,
with triathlons.
yeah.
The,
But that's
like,
what I'm saying. Like they could change it up to like where you could have sprint High Rocks, or you know, like you could have like you know maybe more like machine. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I've even, and I don't know how this would work, and you could have a low skill movement with higher reps, and then a higher skill movement with less reps, and you get to choose. And I get that their model is everybody can do it, and you can run a ton of people through it. So I don't know how that would work, but
We were talking about it with because you know affiliates. That's one of their big questions because everybody's on that kick of it. Everybody wants to do a High Rocks, or at least like majority of people want to see it. And I said kind of like similar to you, like. I may never do one just because I don't really have the drive to want to do one. If I want to do one, I'll do it in a gym because I have the equipment and I can just run it there. But as far as if it gets people excited about something, it keeps them within that, or like within your gym, or at least within your fitness, community. Heck yeah, you know, I mean, open up a High Rocks class or a
Yeah.
you know type of class that kind
no.
of cares.
You can't do
For-
that.
Not a fitness. Yes.
Fitness, running, racing, running, fitness,
Endurance
racing?
class.
They have
There we
their
go.
own affiliates
For
now,
an
right?
affiliate?
I know,
Yeah,
but,
but like
you can't say high rocks.
You can't do that, but open up
unless
an endurance class
you pay them
sport
money,
or something
just like
that.
CrossFit. You can't
For
say
an
CrossFit.
affiliate, though, I think High Rock's a good lead magnet for sure.
100%, because again, just like we talked about, everybody goes through a cycle of fitness. Like, I mean, we do it too, where you go through, whether it's a lifting stage, you go through a body weight stage, or, you know, you just go through
Hybrid stage.
Yeah, you go through a mountain bike
Pump
phase,
sesh.
you know, things like that. It's like, for them, you create all these things because this is what's going to keep them within. We had people who'd come in and do CrossFit and then leave for 3 months because they wanted to go back to the fit and just do bodybuilding.
Yeah.
You know, and then after that wears off, they come right back to the gym because they're like, oh, I noticed
that
that
wears
I
off.
wasn't as in shape,
Yeah.
you know, or something. It's like,
Yep.
if you create all these different things, it just
Yeah.
gives people so much more
Something
access.
to do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I've enjoyed, like you're saying, doing the mountain bike stuff or the
Yeah.
off-road triathlon stuff was a ton of fun. Just something different, you know. But yeah, we get in our
Kicks for
our
sure.
kicks.
Well, and you know, if you go back to the original, you know, methodology of CrossFit, it's like to get better at sports, or like, you know, it's like that's, you know, like it was a training
learn
tool.
and play
learn,
new
learn, learn and play new
sports, yeah.
sports. Whether you're talking about sports in general or just the sport of life, new things out there. I think that's something again that was completely forgotten about because people got so fixated on just getting better at CrossFit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they get in a gym and they're just like, hey, I want to get, you know, they want to get their first bar muscle up or something like that, which is awesome. But then it's like they want to get it to like where that's all they want to do.
Well, but I
You're
also
right, I
feel
should
like
skip the
that's
gym today
where
and play
local
golf.
competitions
Huge.
fill that in. You know,
Yes.
like it's like, hey, give something people, you know, like they see a movement come out.
Give them
they're
a
like,
reason,
oh, yeah.
something to train for. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but local competitions are hard to run and takes a lot. And I mean, that's a whole nother thing that needs to be looked into is getting rid of. You know, you could keep the open, and then somehow, you know, find the best equipped 10, 15 gyms in each region or whatever. Some people are going to have to travel, but you could do some type of like, not regionals, almost more like the sectional model we used to have where it's like CrossFit or whoever is the governing body at this point puts out, you know, like they get with those 10 gyms and look at the equipment they have and they put out the actual workouts, but then they let the people run a local competition that feeds them to these in-person larger qualifying events would be a cool model.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how that works. And, you know, there's a ton of logistics you have to look into for that, but could be a cool way to bring them back. Cause the online qualifier is when you do it for a local competition, yeah, whatever. But when you try
Like
to
you
do
get
it
to go to the CrossFit Games
to go
from
to the
them.
CrossFit Games from
Something
it,
that is
a
career.
absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
The only running you've done is
Well, it's not even
50
that.
show
It's
runs.
just like, you know, the video angles, and then you
Yeah.
got all
Did
these.
you pay any
you know,
attention to the online semis for indies at all?
I'm
I
up to
just
date.
whatever I see on Instagram,
I'm up to date.
and I
I'm up to
judge
date.
people on it for sure. I
Hey,
think about how horrible a
Angel's up
human
to
being
date.
they are based on the video that they posted. You know,
Yeah, I'm up to date on it. If you guys want to know.
Yeah, I want to know.
What do you want to know?
I know a thing or two.
I just
Yeah.
want to know how like your
I'm over here.
thoughts on
Enough to
it.
be dangerous.
We already talked programming, but like how it played out.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it, it's not surprising, especially the guys. Most of the guys. I mean,
Are you up to date or just reading your screen?
I mean, I'm both. I'm both.
Yeah, I'm unimpressed.
The guys are, I mean, pretty much, if you follow it, you kind of know all these names. Colin Bossart, I think, is not necessarily as well known, but he's fit. Like, I think he pushed Roman on a couple events at Wadland.
He did
or
well in
beat
the
him,
Open
maybe.
too, I think, right?
Yeah.
So people probably have seen him.
Yeah, so, like, all of those names, I'm not surprised. And if you go down, I'm not surprised by any of the names up there. So that's kind of cool.
You told us one name.
Jeff crushed it. He won 3 workouts. That's nuts.
did something happen to him? WFP, he was in the lead, and then
I think he
failed
made
a lunge or no rep to lunge or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, no, he wasn't in the lead.
And that
going
dropped
in the
him to
last
fifth,
workout,
or
was
what?
he?
He was.
He
I
was,
believe,
yeah. He failed an overhead lunge.
And I think he was winning that.
Like at the finish line.
He was winning that
had to go
event.
back
So
a
like
section.
the what was it, Cara that did that?
Yeah, but
Alright,
he had to
Antio.
go all the way back to the
Antio.
start of the lunge.
So the,
You had to
the
go
race
all
was
the
that
way back.
the race was that tight overall though.
Yeah,
that,
it was like 3 points between him and Hatfield, kind of back and forth all
yeah.
weekend.
Yeah, and he wasn't even on the podium after that.
How far was the lunge
so
that he had to restart? Like it wasn't
know.
a
It wasn't
10-foot
10-foot section or something.
Yeah,
you know,
it wasn't
like-
crazy. No,
It was multiple
was-
steps. I mean, he had to,
Yeah,
he had
it
to
was
walk back, but
yeah,
it
It was
wasn't
far
like
enough
50
that
feet.
he
Okay,
went
okay.
from first place to 20th in the event,
Yeah.
and he went from first to fourth overall.
I mean, he failed, not his arm didn't come down on accident. Like, he, went to failure and like
Oh,
had
he
to
literally
stop
must
It
and,
wasn't
like,
a no rep. It was like a
no, he was it was like a couple lunges left and both his arms just buckled and he just had and then basically had to just stand there and watch people finish and couldn't finish it.
I almost wonder how much of factor it played the people that didn't do the online qualifier the weekend before and then went to WFP, because Hatfield didn't do it, obviously, because he qualified at the Classic. He won WFP, and Gazan didn't do it, and she won WFP.
Interesting.
What about Colton?
He
How'd
was
he do?
top 10, I think.
He did,
8th or 9th or 10th or something.
9th, I think.
But he did all the workouts the weekend before. But yeah, keep going.
The only big stories, I mean, everyone, I feel like at this point knows that Brooke Wells got some huge penalties. And
How'd
is
she
outside.
do at the WFP event?
I don't know.
I'll be honest, I didn't follow WFP at all.
Okay.
So I don't know. I just
think
saw a video of Jeff failing his last lunge. Like, it was on Instagram. He failed it and like he brought the dumbbells back and he just stood there. So that's the only reason I knew that story.
I don't think she was notable. Maybe top 20, but I don't think
She got a huge penalty.
on burpees
Two
and on
and
ring
muscle
muscle
ups.
ups.
I only know that because
The Hiller call out?
well,
was that
Yeah.
one of the Instagram accounts tagged me and it was like Tigger from Winnie the Pooh, like walking away, and it said something like Hiller having to go pick a fight with Rich Froning because CrossFit did what they were actually supposed to do on like, making adjustments to scores or whatever. It's pretty funny.
She dropped out.
And so I assumed that's what it was about, bro.
Olivia Kerstetter, I believe she was in a qualifying
Yeah,
spot. She dropped out.
She got nuked on the ring muscle ups,
Yes.
and Caroline Stanley on the ring muscle ups.
Oh,
too.
Caroline Stanley wasn't qualifying and got
Yeah.
dropped out. Okay, she's in 13th, which does suck because she's really right outside
So
Olivia's.
what more
15th.
chances
but
do
if you
they
look-
have? Or like what other chances do these
I
athletes
mean, you
have?
still got Knoxville. You got Syndicate
Yeah,
Crown coming
Syndicate.
up.
TFX this
TFX.
week.
But are those fields like already
NorCal.
set though?
They're
That's
regional.
what I'm saying.
Some of these were in so the plan was a lot of this wasn't going to be finalized until after TFX for sure. So TFX is this weekend.
Okay.
Syndicate is 2 weekends.
A lot of memes for jacked up teams.
There's a weekend in between, I think, and then Syndicate.
Syndicate's the last weekend of May or first weekend of June, whatever. It's a
And then the
crossover.
weekend
So these
after that
athletes
is
could still
NCC.
jump into syndicate. Like those fields are
Yeah.
not set.
Correct.
Well, they were
semi-set.
They were in, yeah, but I think some of those
They're
were
inviting-
they were invited, and then they basically
Yeah, what's
Man, I
more
don't
likely to
know.
happen is they had accepted their invite to Syndicate, and now
Yes.
they will decline it because they qualified through
Gotcha.
online.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Which,
then that will
as an
open up
event
the-
organizer, sucks.
Sucks.
But
not
it's also
fun.
the nature of the season, and I
Sucks.
get it.
Because I think TFX. I mean, everyone. I think
Is Luke going to TFX and
he
Syndicate?
can't,
No,
go,
he
to
can't go to
TFX.
TFX.
Oh,
He's
okay.
he's not
Oh, he's in
west.
the
but
wrong.
he is going. He's going.
He was just overseas, right?
Yeah,
Was it
man,
French?
I think he messed up. He got there 2 days
Way
before, and
too,
anybody who
yeah.
travels overseas knows
Yeah,
you can't do that.
that was
wrong
a big,
turn
I
to
think it
Sweden.
was-
It's true
Gets
that.
you
And,
every
then,
time.
and
True
then
that.
of
Gets you
course,
every
by
time.
the end, like he's like really catching his. He's like
Catching his
winning.
wind,
He gets
yeah.
second and fifth, and I'm like, because the first day he just was trash.
which should have been a workouts that he should have been.
Yeah,
workouts
really
that he
How did
would've
oldest do?
smashed.
How did he?
Oldest was about the same. He got crushed too, kind of.
Really?
Like he was. I, mean,
I was
think he did- he
seeing
did-
some of it.
Him and Luke were like side by side, and like
Yeah.
after the first day, they were like 24th and 25th. I'm like, what in the world is happening? And I think they both ended up climbing up, and I think Oldest probably beat Luke, but they both just didn't have a great weekend.
Yeah,
So this is my
But a
question.
killer gender reveal, though,
Yeah.
and that's what
I didn't
get
see
out of
it.
the
You didn't see it?
Boy or girl?
boy.
Boy.
For Luke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second boy. I
So
was
Luke's a
like,
boy.
Yeah, he is.
It's official.
Yeah, it took 30 years to figure it out.
This is my question. Back to the online semifinals. If they can, why would it be so hard to do what they did for individuals for the teams?
Not look at anything? What do you mean? Is that what you're saying?
Well, if they can,
I heard about that too.
if they can,
I thought we were
Crazy.
we're trusting the.
So
Wait, hold on. What are you
Integrity.
trying to say?
Did you
for-
not hear that? Boz came out and said they didn't check any videos because they're going to. What was the?
they're
That's-
so
Trust the integrity
Read
of the
it.
coach.
Read it. Don't say that's BS. Read it. Read the email.
I'm just saying it's a misrepresentation, right?
No. Scott
They
has an
didn't-
email
they
from the top.
they didn't
This
review.
is not a misinterpretation.
They did not review any videos.
Read it.
I'm fine. I'm gonna find it.
Reddit.
All right, here we go. They're looking for ways to keep the responsibility with the on-site judges. The intent is to balance streamlining the process with maintaining the integrity of the competition. Ideally, there is less time for competition resolution and a better experience for the athletes on site who don't have to wait for an extensive review period before learning their final scores. As it stands currently, the team competition is the smallest division. About 140 teams signed up for the semifinals. This makes the division a great initial audience to see if the competition could be conducted exclusively by the judges in the affiliates. With the run course being a relatively new concept for online competition, we felt there needed to be some additional verification of that element. That was them walking out their course. As always, after this stage of the season, we will take a look at the results of the competition, rule set, and requirements to refine the process in the future. Please feel free to send along any feedback you have or any of the Mayhem teams may have. That was in reference to the Hendersonville team being 1 point out, but there was no video review of any video. So, like, I could have signed up with 3 people in the open.
They were testing
as
the
a
integrity
team,
of the community.
we could have done the workouts, and then I could have submitted slightly worse scores than them.
But the last show we did, you admitted that wasn't happening widely, right?
I'm not talking about the run.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying, like,
overall,
anything.
We saw videos.
But here's the
we
whole
saw videos of other teams ahead of.
Don't look at me,
Angelo
bro.
and them.
Everybody's a cheater, but my team is. That's the only thing that I'm saying is like. I just don't think that it was rampant.
No, that's fine, but you should still review some videos, especially if you're saying this is the smallest group that we have.
Yeah.
So why would you not check videos?
Here's what I'll answer, and this is not in defense of CrossFit. I think that all the things you're pointing out, online semifinals suck. No video review sucks. I don't think that it's because they're like, hey, what's the best way to do this? I think that CrossFit's in a bad place. And
but
why
like,
this is how we have to do it this year. We need people to run our semifinal events. We need to do the online qualifier because we can't run regionals.
Why do they constantly contradict themselves? They're checking individual videos, but they're not checking team videos?
They're using public review to check the individual video.
Yeah, I think
so. Why can't you use public review to check the team video?
Why can't they just get out of their own way sometimes?
That's I mean, like, that was like my thing. I mean, again, I'm kind of on the outside of it, but like when I heard about it, it's like, why do you set yourself up for failure? Because you know it's gonna cause an outcry.
Why wouldn't you just ask for the videos and then I'll watch?
Yeah, you know, I mean, that's
Yeah,
I mean,
why would you
because
do that?
I do understand like what they're trying to do, but at the same time, I don't understand.
So the
because
only
if you're gonna do it for all
video
the
they
individuals-
asked from you was the
course.
run the run course, not you
No,
doing
they did
the
ask
run.
for the run workout, but they did say explicitly that they did not view them. So I did send them video of the run workout as well, but they said that they wouldn't view it.
So, like,
I mean, Dave said in his weekend review, we're not watching any team videos.
Rory, my
And he said
point
it out
is
loud,
that
those words.
it is possible. I'm not saying this happened. It would have been possible this year for a team comprised of whoever, 4 people, to do the open and then make it to the CrossFit Games through the online semifinal without actually doing a workout.
No, doing the run workout.
Doing the run
I
workout,
see. Yeah. No, dude, listen, I don't disagree.
That obviously that didn't happen. I'm just saying it's possible. But I'm not talking about the run. I'm talking about like synchro thrusters, shouldered overhead, whatever. Like, there's no checking of reps, and clearly reps aren't perfect because in the online competition, 3 out of the 11 people that qualified initially got bumped out of the qualifying spot after the video review. So you're telling me that 4 people on 20 teams all had perfect reps the whole way through?
I think I do. Everyone hates the online review process because of, like, I mean, I'll go back and say, like, the Paige Powers clause is what I call it now. Is that, like, yeah, that judge, something that her judge may have not seen. Maybe they were bad reps, and I think she even admitted that they were, and a lot of people were in that same boat. It was like, oh yeah, I kind of rode the line, and some of those weren't great, but you're trusting that judge on site the same way you trust a judge in competition. So now by adding the head judge, someone who can be on the outside and say, hey, you need to look at their hip crease a little more, and say, okay, now you have a second set of eyes on it.
Yeah.
And okay, I do understand that. Everyone hates the review process, and that causes a lot of issues. So in my opinion, what could have been better was maybe ask for 1 or 2 videos from the teams. Don't review them all. And then maybe if you look at some of them, you kind of wean yourself off of it. Maybe I look at half of them this year, and then next year I only look at 1 of them. And then now it's like, okay, we're all kind of playing the game now. But the problem remains is
it's
that
always going to be.
Yeah, the problem remains is I have he's my friend and I have him judge me, and he's my other friend, I have him my head judge.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how many people you think, how like Boz said, that'd be hard to get that many people in on a lie. And even if it isn't a lie, like he's seeing, maybe he
I'm
sees
not
my
referring to
thrusters.
lies.
No, I'm not referring to lies.
No,
I'm referring
maybe-
to improper movements.
Yeah, maybe Darren sees the way I do my
Get a little
thrusters.
lower, and you don't get a little lower.
Like all the
Yeah.
years I spent not counting his double unders. 'Cause I
Yeah,
thought he
or
counted
just
them.
like, yeah, well, this is how Angel always does his thrusters. Like this is kind of, he always kind of like has that soft
pull
elbow, whatever.
Pull one random video.
Yeah.
Pull one random video from everybody.
Or do
You don't-
exactly what they did for the individuals.
I know, but they don't. I know they want to try to not do that, and I do hate the video review process. I do, but unfortunately, where we're at, it's just kind of necessary right now. Like I know that because everyone wants. Like I don't want to contradict us, and I don't want to contradict myself because I don't want to talk with out of both sides of my mouth. Because last year we were saying, well, if you trust the judges to count the reps and see the good hip crease, then let them go and don't review the video. There and like at a live competition, those would be good reps because you can't slow it down and watch it to a millisecond. You have to put a little bit of trust in the judges' hands, and what you just said is right. Like take one random video that way you don't even know which one to cheat. Like I need workout 2 this team. I need workout 4 from this team. I need workout 3. So like you have to have all the videos of every workout, and then that way, more likely than not, you didn't cheat them and hope they don't ask for this one.
If you go back, you'd probably be the one to ask. But every year has there consistently been a shakeup in the leaderboard of the set field where after review somebody gets bumped out.
Yeah.
So I mean, if that is consistent.
Yeah.
Where it happens,
then
it's because then those people in that 1 spot out, 2 spot out, or even like 5 spots out, there's always the chance of them making their way back in.
And I'll say, especially if this is the only way to get to the CrossFit Games.
No
If it was like, we're going to send 40 teams to a semifinal, and, maybe the top last 10 teams or 20, even 20 teams, whatever, maybe 5 of them are like they were questionable reps, whatever, they're going to get found out at the in-person thing. You don't have that now.
And don't forget that the Open was just sign up.
There was no you didn't have to
qualify
video,
from the Open.
You didn't have to do anything, right?
Didn't have to do anything. I didn't video it. I mean, I did video them all just because I videoed we would
just
video
because
every
out of
workout
habit.
because it's like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Where should we put the camera? All that kind of bull crap. And we videoed every open workout. We did all of them correctly. But you didn't. I mean, I could have not done them and put in a kind of a shitty score. And then just
good enough. Well, no, you didn't.
not
do anything.
even. Just put in a score. I could have scaled all of them. I could have scaled all of the workouts.
What always is the thing that you ask yourself when you see somebody score? I cannot wait to see.
All you had to do is
their video,
pay your
and it's
$20.
That's it.
Is that how much it was this year?
plus tax.
One rep for workout 1, workout 2, workout 3, and then move on and then go to semifinals. Yeah, that's why we did them on Thursday. I'm like, I'm not gonna. We had
Waste
Molly's
your
in town.
training,
Yeah,
yeah.
Molly's in town for 3 weeks. We're not gonna waste a day of training. We're gonna hit it, and then we're gonna. Who gives a crap?
Gosh.
What does this sport become?
Bollocks.
The problem is, and I know you guys have this issue too, is we love it so much, and I don't want.
it's
it
our
to
life.
Suck. Yeah, I don't
It's
want it
our-
to suck. I want it to be good. And all of us want it to be good. That's the issue. And everyone who talks crap about it, I know that and some people say that the Sevon podcast crew gets a little over at the top. Some of them do. But they love it and they want it to be good. So of course they get angry. And that's why we get angry at this stuff. Cause everyone wants it to be good. And we want it to keep going. Like back in the day, we especially all of us, we were around for the earlier days, and that was incredible as it was exploding, and
And you could explain
Yeah.
how the whole system worked. Now
Yeah.
it's just my wife, who's been in it for 15
can't
years,
figure out it. Yeah,
no clue what's going on.
Because every year you're always waiting to hear what's the new,
What's the difference? Yeah.
what's going to be the hiccup this year? What's going to be the change?
Now you have to explain 2 seasons.
yeah.
Running
what's,
in parallel.
and what's rogue and what's this and
It's like a different dimension at
How do
this
these
point.
fit in? Yeah, it's.
what kind of
frustrating.
soft take you have, Rory? On that? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I just think the better. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's okay, great. So magic wand, you're king for a day. How do you solve it? Because you're right. It's
is,
imperfect.
yeah.
All these things suck, and
Hey,
of course, you can't say, well, they're up
Let's
against these.
get multiple people in the space in the same room and talk.
Careful on your thighs.
Sorry.
I don't know
Your
if
knee-
that's
your knee
always
will
the best
explode.
solution.
I mean, that's the only.
You know what I'm
solution.
saying?
You have to get those people. Yeah, you have to get the right people who can make things happen.
That's what I'm.
And
I'm
the
not
problem
saying
is like
don't give everybody a voice, but
No,
it's like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
like it's broken. It's obviously
who-
broken. It's been broken for 8 years now.
2018, yeah, since 2018,
Ugh,
really.
7 years. Like, how can we fix it? And maybe you don't take. Here's the deal: is I'm not saying you take everybody's opinion, but it's like
You get the right people who can make things happen, and like people like us who have ideas, who
are gonna be
yeah.
your grunt work for it anyway.
Yeah, and people who have really good ideas who want to help and who maybe opinions you respect as well. Then you get to the right people, and maybe we don't have a grasp on some of the things that they can't handle. So like we bring it up to like Dave and Boz or whoever it is to bring it up to, and they go, "Hey, the reason we can't do that is this, this, and this." You're like, "Okay, I didn't think about that."
Yeah.
That's why. That's the only because we can yell at each other all we want and come up with the best ideas possible, and they look at us and go, "Dude, that's impossible." Like because of these reasons, you're like, "Oh, okay."
But
I didn't
they
think about
can't
that.
handle a review of videos of the self-admitted smallest field that they're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah,
Like, that's stupid.
yeah, and that's I think
Hey,
that.
this is the least amount of people we're putting through. Wow, we can't review the
Well,
videos.
we can't review their videos.
What it actually is telling me is we don't care about this group of people.
Yeah, well, and then the same thing, the judge review thing. This was my issue with the whole needs review or whatever thing, like the thumbs up, thumbs
You're
down.
talking the peer
the
review
individuals,
thing?
yeah, the peer review. The peer
Yeah.
reviews.
So how does that work again? Like total.
So I actually really think it's a good idea, but
I think it
but
is.
it ends up being a popularity contest in a way.
Yeah.
So like if
because you're gonna ask people, hey, I need you to go on there.
like if I hate Rich, let's say I'm a huge Medeiros fan. He's the people's champ.
it.
He's the people's champ.
Yeah, true.
And I'm not saying I'm not. I'm probably a bigger Medeiros fan than a Rich fan. Doesn't mean he's way better.
All right, get off.
Okay, sorry, I gotta add that in there. If I'm a huge Medeiros fan and I'm gonna like his video and say that Rich Froning guy sucks, and I'm gonna give him a thumbs down, like that had to have happened. And
100%.
And
I don't
Hiller,
think-
unfortunately, I'm not saying that he caused this, and I think we've even talked about, me and him have talked about this, but indirectly, that like him blowing Brooke Wells up and using her as an example, I know what he was doing. It wasn't necessarily personal to her, but it was kind of just like what he always does, shed some light on things that are happening. Unfortunately for her, I'm not saying her burpees were good, they were bad. He brings so much attention to just her, and was like, all of his cult following, who does whatever he says, they go up there, screw Brooke Wells, she does bad burpees, I hate her burpees, and then like you say, hey, what about the video above her? And it's like just as bad, maybe.
It's like the Paige thing that happened last
Yeah.
year. Yeah, maybe she had some. Well, she definitely had some bad reps.
Yeah.
but they didn't check the.
What
you know,
about the other
they moved her down to
600th?
600th, and so they didn't check it. So it's just the system.
you look at 40
broken.
videos, you go, yeah, that's probably about good. 600th, this seems like a good spot to
Yeah,
put you, and you're
yeah.
like, whoa.
Right
I think, man, correct me. I think I want to check this. I forgot to look at this the other day. I'm pretty sure that she got moved. This isn't a joke. I think it was 666th place in that workout. I'm
Paige
serious.
or Brooke?
Paige in that step up
Oh,
workout.
bad
Like,
luck.
that's
Hey,
just-
actually, I called Will out for that. That WFP workout was 6 rounds, 6 muscle
Yes.
ups,
600-meter run,
600-meter run, and
snatches.
That's a
6
big
snatches.
no-no.
I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
What are you doing? Or maybe it was 5 rounds, but
What
it was
are you
6,
doing,
6,
bro?
6.
It's
I
still,
was like,
you
Will,
still.
come on, man.
There's just something like every
dude,
time
this
that
is
I
a
even
bad
start
idea. This is
typing, I look,
eternity.
I go,
Oh,
can't
no,
do
can't
that.
do that.
No, can't do that.
Done there.
That is it's annoying. It's like, man, these reps really work, but I can't do it.
Dang you, Satan.
I will say the whole conversation that we had earlier.
Oh, okay, I made
this
that
sheds.
up. I made that up. Wait.
Fake news.
Yeah, keep going. No. Yeah, whoa. It's
Keep going. No, hold on.
2,139.
Paige?
That's in the
Divide
world.
that by
That's in the world.
23.
That's the world. Hang on. Sorry. Keep going. I'm looking.
Sheds a different light on WFP, right? Like we're saying, oh, they don't want to talk to CrossFit and there's no communication. Well, maybe it's because they, in a lot of ways, they're saying, hey, these were solutions to problems that we saw. It's kind of like a by athletes, for athletes solution that they're trying to provide.
I will say, after we had
661st.
last podcast where we said
Still
that
close.
CrossFit and WFP couldn't talk or whatever.
Yeah.
This is coming from the Dave Castro.
Oh, no.
We tried setting up multiple calls with WFP last month. Have they told you that? And this was after, and I said, who's the no, he said, Yeah, WFPA. I said, who's the WFPA? And he said, isn't that the guys you mentioned they tried talking to us, but we won't talk to them? I said, Will? He said, yeah, him. I said, we couldn't even or he wouldn't come on the podcast, whatever. And he said, but I heard you repeated his assertion and agreed with it, that they have tried getting in contact with us and we don't respond. If they told you that they tried talking to us, they are lying. I said, I'd have to go back and listen to what I agreed with. We say a lot of things on this podcast. We get a little emotional at times. I said, previous to the last 2 to 3 years, yes, it was difficult to get a clear response. And he said, you sound like a victim. And I just sent the chow, ha, 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 F you thing.
I think
that's how it ended.
I think
Classic.
a podcast
You said
would
you sound like a victim?
Yeah, he was joking.
imagine
See, he said,
You
ha,
sound
ha,
like
ha.
such a big victim. And so I sent that back.
imagine a podcast with you, Dave, and Will. It would crush.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Let's do it. I'm putting it in. Will,
You can have my chair.
Dave, come on. Let's do a podcast.
Will has to
Talk
travel
us out.
a much
that
shorter
would be
distance to
crazy.
get here.
That would be crazy. You, Will, and Dave in a podcast would be
Yep.
awesome. That'll never happen.
No,
Who else?
Well, because Will said people above him said he can't do it, right?
I don't know.
But then he could do
I
other
don't know.
podcasts.
I mean,
with
we
other
had a
people,
good
but
talk
not
when they were
you.
here. Like, I really wish it would have been public.
Who
you
are
know?
the backers to the, like, is it people within the sport?
Somebody, they said in Birmingham or somewhere in
Oh.
Alabama. It's not Saudi money, allegedly. I don't know.
I can't say anything. I can't say anything.
So I don't know. We tried. Once again, we got, you can look at the way
I
we
get
had
it.
the Brian Friend podcast where people are like, why can't you do that stuff in private? And I'm like, it's just better. Like, let's talk it out. And hey, if they would have been like, let's not air that, we wouldn't have aired it, but I still think there's a lot of value in having these long form discussions and airing grievances, disagreeing on things, whatever, and still being able to walk away and be like, all right, well, we're just not going to agree on X, but there's a lot of benefit to it, and I don't understand why we can't do that.
Yeah, and I think it's the transparency for the general public to actually see and hear it, like to see people talk it over and be like, okay, whether it's on camera or not, and they're like, oh, they're just putting on a front.
Yeah.
But it's like you can answer a lot of questions for a lot of people that again who well, what happened behind the scenes, or what are they talking about? So yeah, I mean, I think if people do want to get on here and talk about it, I think it will actually help, and I think it helps both sides. I don't know why people
We
wouldn't.
changed the name to the Festivus podcast.
There we go. I
Remember
like
that
that.
Seinfeld episode? That's the airing of grievances
Never-
holiday.
Never saw
No.
Seinfeld.
Never once?
Never watched Seinfeld.
Big fan. Well,
There's a little bit of
Festivus was their holiday, the airing
I was
of
a Team
grievances.
Friends guy, but I was more Friends than I was Seinfeld. But Seinfeld's still good.
I hate Friends.
you only watched it because Eddie loved it, right?
Well, I was young at the time, but I saw when you see people older than you that you think are really cool watching something, you're definitely gonna watch it. And then
Scott,
I
you
fell in
agree
love
you don't
with
like Friends, right?
No, I hate it.
You never seen those tweets that says there's
No
Like,
one actually likes that show.
they edit
Everybody
out,
loves
They
that
edit
show,
out
man.
the laugh
It's
track
just like
so you
The
can realize
Office.
how unfunny it is.
Yeah, no, there's not a person that actually likes Friends.
No way.
Love Friends.
Sucks so
I'm
much.
indifferent on it. I didn't love or hate it.
Oh no!
Yeah,
oh,
but
that's what it
you're-
says.
But I would say you really don't watch sitcoms or anything like that.
The
though.
Office was about the only.
The
thing I
Office,
watched.
yeah. Well, The Office, you just have to. But Office is one of the best background noise shows that
So
you can
good.
have. You can play
Yeah.
that show and not even watch it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So they're coming out with a new one called Paper, or is that what it's called? Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, I think
It's
Amazon.
a mockumentary about the.
Oh, I hope they don't ruin it.
Well, it's different cast though.
Yeah.
It's all.
yeah,
I
I hope
think
they
it's all
don't ruin.
different. Yeah.
Okay, it's just similar.
Yeah, so it's gonna be the same style or the same style. So
Like
But
kinda like
not
Parks and
just
Recs.
not just England, but almost every country has a version of The Office.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
pretty
it originated in England. I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah.
Yeah, Ricky
Gervais.
Gervais. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we made it better.
Welcome. I know.
Anything else to?
What other current events? We covered semifinals.
The big
Cannibalism.
three. We talked about the big. We talked about the big three I had.
Let's just brief real quick the Amarillo trip and put Rich on the spot of when the hell we're doing it.
I'm actually
Waiting for
been checking my
baseball.
phone on the regular and about the coaches pitch coaches thread.
Nice.
Have you ever
So
done it, Rory?
As soon as I
Have you
The
done
race?
yeah? Have you done it?
I did it probably the
This will be my
first 2
first-
years, and then we got canceled for 2 years. There was
we got canceled the first year.
It's
Yeah,
at
we
the
had
last year
Powell
was
Syndicate.
during
Powell Durham.
We had
last
Syndicate last year.
Syndicate, and this year we said screw it, we're going anyway.
yeah. That's right.
But it's the
Paladuro Canyon.
okay, but it's the same one like when I went originally, 5-6 years ago, and we just went and rode.
Yeah,
That's the
trail.
It's so cool.
You're coming, right?
Yeah, yeah. It was one of the most like unreal things of driving in Amarillo and just seeing nothing but flat, and all of a sudden, in the middle of nowhere, just a giant
bottom drops
crack
out.
in the ground.
Yep.
The second
And
largest
phone
crack
just
in
like
the
Yeah,
that.
second
There's like an
just
largest-
invisible
literally-
line where it's like you have no more service.
I still tell the story
about that.
of us like in the helicopter and stuff to like everybody. That's one of the coolest things
Hunting
ever.
hogs out of a helicopter and coyotes.
Oh my gosh, it's awesome.
So in some
Um,
capacity, we're driving to Amarillo and
hitting
affiliate
some
touring.
Mayhem affiliates. So if you're not a Mayhem affiliate and you want to get on that
if you're
tour,
between
Yeah.
Cookville and Amarillo.
we're gonna try. It's
That would
Yeah,
be
we're
the
basically
time to sign
I-40
up.
the whole way.
I was thinking about Rich. If I do this and we're gonna go on the way back and do a tour after doing this ride, and I'm completely wrecked. It's like I got to make sure
You'll be
this week
fine.
of programming.
Yeah, your program like 15-minute
Yeah.
walk around.
well,
the
we're gonna have
building.
to change some workouts so we don't double up on the same workout in a
Holy
day.
cow.
Are we
The
the
gonna-
race is not as devastating as like what we did the other day. You
Yeah,
know
but
what I
Darren
mean?
wasn't here for his dude.
Yeah.
The 12 hours on the mountain this year was even for some reason was harder, even though we added the road loop. Going to the gym and back. Conquer Hunger. That was an incredible
right.
event.
That looked cool. That looked
That was
cool.
awesome. What they're doing with mountain ops.
250 or so?
250 people.
Volunteers, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was packed. I walked out there and I was like, Bert, should I even be out here helping? Like, there's so many people. And
Yeah, it was
then,
awesome.
We found some.
Yeah,
clubs to
because
do.
you didn't show up to the barn to ride the bike with Sam and Zoe.
Yeah, he texted me that the
They
night
did great.
before I was at work.
Yeah.
He goes,
You should have
"We
just
could-
done the
he
road
goes, We
loop.
can do this 1 to 2. I go, no, I'm good. I'm not totally against it. I just hadn't like he asked me like 12 hours before if I wanted to do it,
Yeah.
and I just had I had not wrapped my head around actually doing it. I'm
12
like,
hours to do a 12-hour event.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not gonna go home, grab my bike, and be there at like 9:15 and just hop right on.
I got
the
time.
I'm not doing it.
I
Yeah.
got
fun.
I
No,
absolutely
gotta do it.
caved in. I've never felt like the full bonk. Like
It was
I
awesome.
can't move any further. you know?
Rory, you were doing it by yourself because Stevie left,
full-
right? Were you guys?
Well, me and
even-
Stevie were doing it together
And then
with no partner rest, so we kind of like
How long of a ride is it to the person benching?
so. What?
Sorry, how long does it take to do a loop? We'll go there.
The trail
Roughly.
loop 40 to 45 minutes.
And you did a trail loop.
51.
Sorry, 38 to 44 minutes is kind of the trail loop.
50 minutes.
And then
I
the
know
road
that.
loop was like 35
And
to
you would
32.
alternate. You go trail.
So
next round.
the way it worked this year was me and AJ were partners. AJ started, he did a trail, I did trail.
Yep.
Road,
That's
trail, and then we rode. So I hit my trail loop, came in, got AJ, we rode to the gym. We
How
then
far
did
was it to the gym? Do you know?
10
miles.
So you did
Yeah.
the trail, hopped right back on the bike.
and then never got off. I,
No,
mean, I
never-
did my
I mean,
bench
yeah,
because we had
yeah.
a bench,
Okay.
155. You got 1 rep or 1 point. Sorry, 1 rep for 155 pounds. If you got 100 reps as a team, you got 1 point. So you get a point for a trail, point for a road, but
Okay.
they had to alternate.
Yep.
And then you got a point for going to the gym, point for coming back from the gym. And so
That trip
the
to the
bench,
gym would be
if you would hit if you hit 100 reps between the two of you, so you when you finished a loop, you could hit one set of bench, and that was it.
Did you
One
take
max
the
set.
70 route to the gym?
No,
Or is it the back way, whatever?
back way. And so you got if you got 100 reps, you got an extra point. And so me and AJ would come in and hit 25. So I came off my trail, hit the bench. We rode to the gym, which was like 10 miles. We drafted for a little while, and then we kind of got separated.
Yeah, you left them.
And
Just say
then
it.
we got to the gym
Just-
and we're making meals. The goal, like we were just going to do a certain amount of meals. And so a lot of the guys, the mountain bike crew,
So as you're completely depleted,
You're just
you're
making
sitting there
these-
for
watching
you're
granola bars
watching
go by.
granola bars and food.
that got hard. You were like,
Yeah,
I could
bad.
take one of these.
I'm trying to conquer hunger.
And so the
I conquered my own.
couple of the mountain bike guys, Josh, when we walked in, Malone was like, you just got to make 10 meals and you can leave. 10 meals. And I was like, I can't just make 10 meals and leave. So I stayed till it was done. Some of the guys did 10 and left.
Go.
So then we rode back together. So we hit a bench at the gym. Bench set at the gym. Rode
Oh, you
back.
did?
Yep. Rode back together. I hopped right on to give AJ a little bit of a break. I waited till he got here. Hopped on the trail again. Trail loop. He did trail loop. Then we went back to road loop, trail loop. So we did that from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. About what, 2, 3 o'clock?
For me,
Yeah.
it was as soon as I got back from the gym.
Okay. So Rory decides to go lay in his hammock. You know, like he's like, I'm gonna go lay in the hammock.
Papa Zen.
AJ
I wish.
AJ comes rolling in on the bike off the trail loop, and he had
Lay in my hammock.
he'd broken a spoke on the rear wheel, And so he's trying to quit. And I'm like, I think Rory's done. You could probably take his bike. So the next loop, I come back in. AJ's on Rory's bike. About 10 minutes, 15 minutes after AJ leaves, Rory kind of like gets up and is kind of like stumbling towards the bathroom. I said, hey, Ro, just so you know, AJ took your bike.
I was so bummed.
And Rory goes, really? He did? Doesn't even go to the bathroom. Grabs his cooler, grabs his drinks, and then walks to his truck.
Just pissed in the yard on the way out, got in my truck.
He saw his opportunity.
Bro, but what they didn't see was, like, I didn't just get out of the hammock. Like, at one point, I was like, you know when you're, like, half awake, full body cramp, and had, like, I flipped sideways in the hammock, and it was full, like, Ace Ventura, just trying to fall out of it, like, elegantly. Fell on the ground, laid on my face for at least 20 minutes. And then when I finally got to my feet is when they told me that. I was like, peace.
Sam said when he got to the top of the
God be
driveway, his quad cramped, and he like basically fell off the bike. His quad cramped, and so he's like trying to
in the gravel,
bend it, and then his hamstring cramped, and his quad cramped.
Oh, it's the worst, dude.
He put energy drink and Mountain Ops Reload, in a shaker bottle and mixed them together. And I think he drank the whole thing, and then he took off for the gym, and that's when he cramped on the way to.
Dude, that hill last year, I cramped in my hip flexor, and so it was like this.
Yeah.
And I couldn't.
You're locked.
And I just went. No, I fell flat on my back, smashed my phone, and I couldn't like lay down or sit down. Like, so I was just. I was in the middle of my driveway just going, ah! It was so bad. This was last year training for Leadville. It was so bad. But the hardest part was, when was the last time you rode? That bare wheels?
Do you see my bike? It literally has dust on it.
I'm saying that bare wheels competition we did in November.
Yep,
that was the last time I got on my mountain bike. And so, honestly, the worst part for me was my saddle sore. It was so bad. I got on an Echo bike yesterday. We did an Echo bike toes to bar workout, and it was actually
I just love picturing Rory just skipping like to his truck,
like
after
Little Red Riding Hood with his pail.
Yeah, really?
This is no joke. He was walking to the bathroom. I told him, and he was just like, okay, and then just grabbed his
trail
stuff
of
and left.
urine.
Love you, bye.
He just peed.
Well, it's just such a good reminder. It's like, hey, let's jump into a 12-hour. I was like, dude, I should see if I can make it for one before.
Yeah, just make a lap.
Yeah,
just make a 6-mile loop.
The first trail loop, my back was already tight and all that. You have to condition your body to be in that position for so long. And on the first lap, like I was tight in some places that shouldn't have been tight on the first lap, and I knew it was going to be a long day.
My shoulder's been the worst outcome. Like something about.
It was after.
And I came in and I tried to outbench everyone.
30 reps.
35.
Oh, okay.
Wow, 35.
Yep. Yeah, 30. I think 30 was it at the time, and I was like, "Watch me work."
I just stayed at.
And
25.
then I just fell into a hole.
Well, because it adds
So
to like when
you're does have to be a max unbroken
has
set.
to be a max unbroken,
okay.
and you have to have finished a lap to get that
Is
set.
this happening at Amarillo again too?
Yes.
Bench pull up.
Bench pull up.
I will not go for 35. 155.
No, I think we're gonna do dumbbells.
Smart.
50s probably, and then the strict pull up.
Okay.
Yeah, we do like a side quest because 2 years ago.
Those bikers have. That was like 4 years ago.
4 years
when
ago.
they said the.
Yeah, they started talking like I'd come through because I'm not biker etiquette. Apparently, is you have to wear a shirt. It's hot out there. I'm not wearing a shirt, and so they're like, look at that dude's lats. Well, like even the moms were like, they were like high school kids, like, ooh, that's disgusting.
Wait, the moms were high school kids?
Yes.
What?
Because there's like a high school, there was a high school mountain bike team.
Moms were the high school kids. Like there's a group of
the moms of the high school.
We're moms without diplomas.
Rory like heard him talking about how disgusting it was, how big we were, and all.
I heard it too. Every time you guys would go by, they'd be like, "Oh, disgusting."
And then we'd walk through, and they'd be like getting ready to go.
Where's the bench press?
Where's the bench press, bro? Blah blah
the
blah.
weirdest thing ever, you know. And like they would turn sideways and just disappear, and you're like, "Mommy."
Yeah, come on, girls. You know what I mean?
So the next year we brought the bench contest to the start finish line.
Bike race.
Yeah.
Come on, ladies. We got biology in the morning.
And for the mountain bikers here locally, you know, like I wanted to try to make it as even as possible, but I couldn't entice them to do any bench at 155. So I was like 75 pounds and you get a half a rep.
Yeah.
And they still didn't bite.
Really?
And them still didn't bite. They're like, we're too worried about our upper body fatigue and blah, blah, blah. The one guy, Adam, who did it by himself, he did like 6 laps before he left. he would come in and do bench. He was a good sport about it.
And I think he accidentally hit 155 the first time, did he?
I don't remember.
Was he in our same line
Rory
at
was
Conquer
looking
Hunger?
from his hammock.
One of the dudes was like, whoops, like, jumped on 155.
Not 155.
No.
But yeah, I tried to entice Thad with a 75, and he just didn't want it.
I think Zoe did more reps on that bench than any of those
Oh, for sure.
guys did combined.
For sure.
Oh,
But she was
did
using
75.
105.
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
She was
Okay.
using Revo. I gave Revo the scale, the master scale, even though he, because the previous year he's like, well, us masters, and he was on an e-bike, and he was out here though. He did it the whole time, so it was good to see him out here. Yeah, it was just fun. It was better than last year. We had the bike erg version. People could do a bike erg. It's not the same. You got to get on a bike.
Yeah,
Even that
it's
road
not-
Well, it's
loop
a completely
sucks
different
coming
pump,
up.
too.
Coming up
Completely
Whitaker.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, watching Revo on the e-bike is kind of like being stuck in the desert and somebody just like pouring water out in front of you. I'm like, I'm getting closer and closer to trying it. I'm like, just the temptation.
We left the gym at the same time. Him and his son were on the e-bikes, and he's like, "You can go ahead and pass." And I was like, "No, I'm just gonna draft off of you guys." Well, then they like took off and left me, and then about 3 or 4 miles in, I caught them and just passed them on a hill, and then they stayed like 100 yards behind me, and I was like, I could slow down and draft, and then I slowly just kind of took off on them. But man, I was
So you have to pedal on these e-bikes?
yeah. You can
like- it's
so
not
you
like a
can
dirt
change
bike.
the amount of
The assist.
watts that it'll assist you basically.
How many watts get up to? How many watts? Do you know how many watts?
I mean,
it
it
can-
could, I think it'll
Like you can do
I
it
think it's
for
a
you.
multiplier. So like you can do 1 times the watts you're spinning, 2 times, 3. I don't
Yeah,
know.
so
Ever-
he'll
Wow.
tell you the exact wattage, but like, he said at the top wattage, let's say it's 30. It feels like you're on a dirt bike, and it has a governor on it, so like you can't go above 30 miles per hour,
Oh, that's awesome.
but you're flying.
Whenever
that's
is
awesome.
it Donovan that had one?
Yeah.
Whenever we rode that day and you did an extra lap or something, and we're waiting in the parking lot at whatever the trail that was.
Meadow Creek.
Yeah, I was like, I just want to see what it feels like. So I hopped on it and did like the different levels.
Is it crazy?
And even the first one is crazy, but the third one, you pedal and you just
Gone.
fly.
That's cool.
I just can't.
It just would be
Well,
fun.
I
it
wouldn't
didn't
even.
feel
I didn't.
like you're really doing anything.
I bought that fat tire bike, and it's not like everybody's on the whole fat tire kick for hunting, and it's electric. Mine's just straight.
Yeah, there's no point.
No, it's cool. It's actually like.
I mean, it's easier to balance and everything when you got a bunch of
It's
gear
not
on or
the
whatever,
balance. It's like when there's mud and all that other stuff. It's got like it spreads out the surface area that the tire's hitting. So like on a mountain bike, if you're in the mud, it's terrible.
Yeah, it would be hard if
Might
if I would like to say I'd get an e-bike and just like take it out and just like have fun with it sometimes, but then it'd be like I feel like I'd be reaching for it every time. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
this
you're
thing's
just losing.
easy.
Once
For
you
me,
know.
Once you know,
if you're
easy it
going
is.
out just to enjoy and have fun, then
Yeah.
use an e-bike.
Like I'm
I'm
saying,
going out
like-
to like have fun, but also get fitness in.
Yeah,
And
no.
so I
I
that
also
will
think
never
there's a category of rider where like so where I lived in California and Santa Cruz, there's amazing downhill trails, and people are not in it for the fitness as much.
just
You
wanna
know what I
go
mean?
down.
Yeah.
They're just like, we're just in it for the downhill, and so
You
they'll
get an e-bike for that because it just helps you get back up to ride.
That's
down.
you
like-
get to go
that's
further, you get to go longer. Like, and
Where
yeah,
we-
yeah, that makes sense.
Where we shot TAC in Utah it's a ski resort. So, but in the summer they have downhill, but you literally ride a lift up the mountain, and it has like a spot to put your bike and everything. And then you ride your bike down, get back on the lift. It brings it up the
That's
mountain. It's just
awesome.
like skiing or snowboarding, both a mountain
Yeah,
bike.
yeah. Well, and that was the thing. Like when I went out, so I went out for the first time, like just to ride, and did a couple mountain bike trails around. Everybody had a mountain bike, e-bike,
Nice.
and they're hauling, jumping
Nice.
everything. Just full suspension and stuff.
Are they not heavy?
yeah.
Yeah, they're heavy. I thought.
Yeah, but I mean, these guys are riding the
they're
trails.
flying.
They're riding the trails. Of course, you see all the signs like, hey, like no motorized, vehicles, and they're like, oh, it's an e-bike. They're just skipping around, killing me.
The syndicate workouts come out today.
You already know him.
I know. I'm tired of
promoting.
knowing them and not and
Well,
not.
you can talk about them. This podcast comes out tomorrow.
I don't want to.
Why? Well, I guess we are like an hour and 45
No,
minutes.
no, I mean,
at
I
this
just-
point.
I mean, what is there to talk about?
Okay.
They're good though?
Yeah, they're great.
How many workouts is it?
They're great
6.
because JR did them. Of course he's going to say they're great.
Oh, they're good. They're good.
How many
Everyone
how many
arms?
workouts?
Oh, 6 workouts. 6 workouts. Yeah, I mean they're class
2-4 or 3-3? 2 days.
Just read them off.
It's 3 days. 2
Just
2,
read
2.
the
oh,
workouts.
2-2-2.
Yeah, the first one's Heavy Isabel. Everyone knows that. The second one is called Regionals Revenge. It's kind of a throwback to the hundreds.
Dumbbell snatch pistols.
Yep.
What is it?
I'm trying to find it.
Wait, double unders? Because back then the pointless 100 double unders.
That was the 60, 50, 40, 30 or whatever. 60 double unders, 50 handstand push-ups, 40 toes to bar.
Oh, the chipper,
And then
the actual,
lunge with
yeah,
the
the
lunge.
actual.
I think is that what you're
chipper.
talking about or no?
No, but I thought the original hundreds was.
100 wall ball, 100 chest to bar.
That's
Yeah.
it. Okay,
100
okay,
dumbbell
okay.
snatch,
I don't
100
know why. I
pistols.
thought,
Or
I thought
100
for
No,
some
100
reason,
pistols, 100 dumbbell snatch.
I thought for some reason there was a
And back then, the
pointless double.
70 was like,
Which still 100 snatches with a 70.
now it's not that bad.
Well,
but
it's-
back then, it was like, we didn't dumbbell snatch at all.
Yeah,
yeah.
It never it had never
No.
shown
Sounds
up.
horrible to me still.
I
I
remember
remember,
I'm saying.
like-
I'm like 70 for 100 reps still is.
I remember
Sounds
we
awful.
had like a random metal 70 in the garage, and I went out and did 10, and I'm like, I can't do 100.
I'll die.
Yeah, heavy Isabel. Then the regionals revenge is what it's called. Is 100 or 80 calories in the echo bike, 100 toes to bar, 100 bar facing burpees, and 100 front squats at 115.85.
That's completely different.
It's completely
Wait,
different.
back
but
up.
it's
What was it?
just
Back,
hundreds.
back up. What was it?
100 or 80 calorie echo,
Okay.
100 toes to bar, 100 bar facing burpees, 100 front squats at 115 or 85. It's so bad. It's so bad.
100 front squats at the end.
It's so bad.
That
His
is
workout's
nasty.
so
No
That
one
is-
ever programs workouts like that where you just
No,
do 100
exactly, yeah.
of everything.
We
Well,
used
'cause-
to all the time. Remember?
Yeah.
We
It
used
was
to talk about
classic.
All the
phases.
time.
Or maybe not in competitions anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. It sucked so
No, I think
much.
it's. I like that
hated
a lot,
workout.
actually.
Yeah.
Well, because it's
15 at the end.
That's what I'm saying. You probably got
Yes.
advanced at every
Front
10 or
front squat,
25.
front squat.
dude.
It's so bad. After the burpees, your shoulders are killing you. It's just, it's so uncomfortable.
Staying
You're
upright
so
is- yeah.
uncomfortable.
That's
Tested
a, that's a mean
Yeah.
workout.
You
Yeah.
tested it?
Yeah.
That's a what?
That's a mean workout.
Yeah, I kind of wish it was back, just so you had to like grind.
Oh,
the
just
whole
grind
time.
through it. I think he said, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think he wanted to. He kind of wishes he would have brought his pills out there, the 100-pound sandbag,
Oh, yeah.
basically.
Just
which would've
for
been
like
pretty cool.
intensity's sake.
Just a
on
little
that
different,
workout.
yeah.
Like,
He said-
100, you like on the back rack,
Just-
115.
you're just
You could
squatting.
maybe
You're
think
just-
about trying to, but front squat, I'm gonna have to break.
Yeah, because your shoulders.
Yeah.
The third one is 8 rounds, 400-meter run, 40-foot yoke carry. And the weight on the yoke, I mean, this won't
I
mean
don't
anything probably to you
understand. I
guys.
hate
The weight
yokes.
on the yoke is that it's like,
Just because it hurts my knee.
it's moderately heavy. It's a running workout.
What
with
is the weight
yoke.
on the yoke?
Gotcha.
445.
Oh, it's so light.
It's pretty light. The whole, I mean, it's a running workout.
Yeah.
It's a
Pull
running
up your
workout.
quads.
Wait,
with
that's
light
it? It's
fatigue.
running in yoke?
Yeah. 8 rounds, 440.
How far
8
is the yoke?
rounds. 8
40.
rounds.
40 feet. So
40
down
feet?
the way it is, it's down the field. It's down their field. I think it's
Forward
I
down
think
the
it's the
field.
it's more width.
What's the point of the yoke in that workout?
It matters a lot.
Really?
1930s.
Yes. Especially for bad runners,
Yeah.
it matters a lot.
Lions fights.
It mattered for me a lot.
Touchdown.
And
Ford Field, they
it
played this
it made the
song,
run
Forward Down
really
the Field.
hard
I'll
because
play it
you're
for you
running
after.
with weight on your back basically. You
one
run
of
you
the-
run
it's one of
400
those
meters
songs
and you
that's
run
like-
40 feet with 400 pounds on your
It's
back.
very
It
Yeah.
sucks.
outdated.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's pretty bad, but you're, you're part of it.
The
I
fourth
can't wait for
one,
people to complain about us talking over
I
each
know,
other.
me too.
We're just having- there's two separate conversations
The
going on.
fourth
completely.
one is 2-2-2-3, 50 or 40 rogue. I think these are right. These could be maybe he may not update it.
2 minute. You're talking about time.
Yeah. That part is right. 50 or 40 rogue pro, the rogue heavy double unders, 4 or 3 cut rope climbs, the 10-foot rope that has a 15-foot touch. So there's 5 feet of nothing.
Yeah.
And in the remaining time, you're working towards max distance kettlebell overhead lunge with a goal of 240 feet.
Oh, wow.
Double kettlebell, 53s, 35s. It's
I
really
like-
hard. I
I
mean,
like
you
that
guys
a
know
lot.
how hard that is for me. That workout's great.
That's nasty.
That's a good workout.
Workout's great. It's so good.
That's in terms of like watching and thinking about it too. That's
Yeah.
such a good workout.
There's an end though, right?
There is an end.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a goal,
That
and
makes me
it's
think of the freaking workout we did with a team that was just
worm lunge?
lunge for
No goal.
There's
this
no goal.
is
It was
this
wall
is the
ball.
interval.
We had to then
Yeah.
deadlift and push press it,
push press and then lunge
and
it
then
for
lunge
distance.
it for distance, and there was
No,
no
there's a
end.
goal.
And I would say
Then the goal is many times we've tested it. I've done this workout in its
you make it?
entirety.
Can you make it?
Oh yeah. I've done it in its entirety 4 times. It's a little different 4 times. And more people have done it as well.
psycho.
Just to get it right, the timing wise, because he wanted it to be where you can finish in that last set.
You can say we. You guys are.
No, because it's his workouts. I didn't do anything. He wanted you to be able to finish it, but you almost have to do it in the 4th set. So everyone has to do all the rope climbs and all the double
Yeah,
unders.
yeah.
And then you can.
There's not the
finish
chance
them all.
somebody finishing.
Yeah, two or three. There's
I
no
like
way.
that.
But I think that workout's really hard for the girls.
Yeah.
And then this one is cool. You're gonna hate part of this. The 30. So it's 30, 24, 18, 12, 6 GHDs. I know you hate the 6 GHDs.
Yeah.
And then 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, box jump over 42 or 36 inches. But the transition is a 30-foot handstand walk obstacle. So you go 30 GHDs, 30-foot handstand walk, ramp, stairs.
42-inch box jump over.
It's awesome.
It's actually
For 30. Wow.
it's
man,
actually
that's
easier than you'd
10, 8,
think.
6,
Yeah,
4,
it's
2
not
on the
that bad.
box.
Oh, 10. Okay. That's
We-
what-
30
God.
GHD, handstand walk down, 10, handstand walk back, 24.
I like to work
8,
out minus the
back and forth.
the
6 GHDs.
6 GHDs. Getting in
Yeah.
and out when it takes longer to get in and out of the GHD than it takes to do the reps.
Yeah.
But it's good for.
I can't wait for the
density.
standard on this too.
The speed is
we
going to be.
figured out the
the
density of the handstand walk at the end is the good part.
The
We're like
You are my density.
we're like
Movie?
we're
Run,
like
everybody?
someone like
It's
me.
an expensive rep
Back
if you
to the
miss it
It's an
too.
expensive
Ooh.
rep of handstand walk that
When he
towards
tries
the
to
end
say,
It
"You're my
is.
because you literally
destiny."
30-foot handstand walk and then you
And
do
that's the one they
that
said the
when you
handstand walk obstacle, right? Obviously.
That'd be cool.
handstand walk obstacle.
You're into liking him. You are my density.
Then this one, I don't know if he changed this or not. He might have 9 sandbag cleans at 200 or 150, 15 or 12 bar muscle ups, 21 or 18 calorie row, 15, 12 bar muscle up, 9 sandbag cleans. So it's
A little
Climb
pyramid
up,
down.
climb down.
back, yeah. And dude,
I like those.
Taylor's time on that is insane. Taylor himself is the one who tested them. I think he did all or very close to all the sandbag cleans
Touch and go.
Gosh.
Well, how's his time on the squatting workout?
He didn't even do it. He did step ups because his knee. He couldn't squat with his knee.
How's his time?
Been there. Front rack.
I'm just
step
going to do
ups?
air squats.
Front rack step. No, with 95. He didn't do 115, but
Okay.
still, I think he did
Still.
95. But still, he said it
dude.
was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He said it
I
was
like those
terrible.
workouts.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, they're going to be good. He said, I think he was really excited to make the endurance test not running, have the running in a different test because like everyone's expecting the long
but
test.
they
to have
also
running.
have a running endurance test.
It's not that. It's not as long as I.
It's 2 miles.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's
Which one's 2 miles?
The
round.
8 rounds of
rounds
440 feet. That's.
Oh,
I would
I
say
thought it
that's
was
an endurance-ish test.
Yeah.
Yeah, that has more to do with the layout than anything, though.
I thought you said it was 4 rounds for some reason.
No.
8 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that workout was really hard. They were all hard.
And you tested all of them.
Yeah. I've done all of them at least once. I've done a lot of
And
them
then
2 or 3 times.
Bigger man than I am.
I think for Crucible
I would
last
just
year-
mathematically break it down.
For Crucible last year for him, I tested one workout 5 times, maybe more. It sucked.
Angelo's a glutton for punishment. If it's,
Yeah,
if it's for
I
Daddy
said-
JR.
One of the times I did it, he goes, I told you did not need to do that again. I was like, I'm just curious, like maybe we can change this about it. And he's like, I'm not changing it. Whether
Anything-
you do it again or not, I'm not changing
Anything
it.
for you, JR.
I did. I just like helping out.
How many times do you need me to do it? 10, 15?
I'll do it every day for a year. If you
JR,
want me
are you
to.
still there? Are you still?
I did that workout again today.
Can you answer me? Can you? I've texted you 10 times.
Hey, I did your workout again.
Angelo, I told you, we already locked in the time cap. I don't need you.
The event is over.
So I'm about to do that workout again.
I need you to text me back.
Crazy game of phone tag we got going on here. Anyways,
Hey, I don't know
Call
if
me
you
back.
got my last 10 messages, but
I did that workout again.
It's when Angelo calls or texts, it says possible spam. You know,
Yeah.
like when you
Yeah,
get
potential spam.
potential spam. That's what it is.
He starts
You know his
sending
number?
emails. He starts sending emails. Hey, I
Telemarketer.
don't know if your number changed. I'm trying to get a hold
When
of
I
you.
did your workout again.
you got Slack.
Do you love me yet? JR's phone just like recognizes Angelo as spam.
It just goes, and it just like all of a sudden it starts going green.
Yo.
Did you get a new phone?
All right, I think we've talked enough. Roy, here's the song.
Just imagine.
that's the official version.
Well, there's a guy that sings it now, but it's like everybody's singing it.
It's so bad. It's awesome.
But imagine 50, 60,000 people jacked up.
Victory.
That's what it's all about, man.
Oh, that gets me. Doesn't that just hit?
Oh, so good.
Is that going to be on your Spotify? You can hear my voice.
Are we going off the
Dude,
rails,
that's
Scott?
Crowd sings it.
It's perfect.
What do
I
you
love
think
a
about
good sports tradition, you know?
Yeah. All right. Peace.